Canada. Rutgers and coach Greg Schiano facing Ball State and Brady Hoke. Under the watchful eyes of the world's tallest freestanding structure, we have a star-laden crew here for the second annual International Bowl from the Rogers Center in Toronto. From the home of the Toronto Argonauts, we're stepping aside from pro football to do a little college football with the second annual International Bowl. It's the Mid-American Conference against the Big East as Ball State will take on Rutgers. And welcome inside, everyone. We decided with a game in Canada, we had to use a Canadian crew. John Saunders here, born and raised here in Toronto. We got Jesse Palmer, born in Toronto, raised in Ottawa. Stacey Dales is on the sidelines. She, of course, was born in cottage country up in Collingwood, and we've got a 6-time MVP of the Canadian Football League in Doug Flutie.
I'm just honorary. I'm just hanging out with a bunch of hockey pucks, and I'm the honoree here.
Well, the guy who is definitely going to be an honoree is Ray Rice, running the football for Rutgers.
He is. Ball State's defense comes into this game ranked 99th against the run. They're giving almost 200 yards up a game, and that means they're going to get a heavy dose of the second-team All-American Ray Rice. He can hurt you running inside, running outside. He's played more of a role in the passing game this year, and he runs behind an offensive line that is much bigger and stronger than Ball State's defensive line. So expect Rutgers to force feed Ray Rice the football in today's game.
And if that's the case, on the other side of the coin, Nate Davis, an outstanding sophomore quarterback, record setter, is going to have to play well.
He's amazing. He really is amazing. He moves around a lot, and he's going to have to move around because, as Jesse was saying, they're a little outmatched up front on the offensive line as well. Nate Davis throws the deep ball as well as anyone. He can spin it, lets it loose. Stan Parrish, his offensive coordinator, says everybody is open in his mind. When he moves around and looks downfield, he thinks he can make every throw, every time, and stick it into tight windows.
Ball State, a team that put up 40 points against Nebraska, so we expect that they can score points in big waves in this game. It's the second annual International Bowl. Ray Rice, this guy, everybody's All-American, perhaps his last college game, and Nate Davis, the outstanding record-setting quarterback from Ball State. They lead their teams coming up next from Toronto. This afternoon's broadcast can be seen in incredible high definition, presented by Olivia. Back here at the Rogers Center for the second annual International Bowl. Again, it's the Big East against the Mid-American Conference. Rutgers taking on Ball State. Right now, let's head down to Brockville, Ontario's own Stacey Dales.
Joined by Coach Brady Hoke of the Cardinals. Coach, this is your first bowl game for Ball State in 11 years. What's the significance for your program?
Well, I tell you, it's great for our kids. It's a great reward. A lot of people have worked hard to get to this point, and you know, obviously we feel we're building a program, so we're excited about it.
Coach, what kind of a tempo can we expect you to establish early in this game?
Well, you know, our offense will be pretty quick tempo early and trying to get them off balance a little bit. And defensively, we got to stop Ray Rice, as you know, and that's a big task.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
John, back up to you.
All right, Stacey, thanks a lot. There's a look at Greg Schiano, 7th year, and what a job he has done. 25-12 in the last 3 seasons, including 11-2 a year ago.
Yeah, a little disappointed this year with the 7-5 outcome and being in a position where they wanted to make a run for the Big East and get in the big bowls and all, and take a BCS shot. Didn't quite get there this year.
He told us this year has really been a disjointed season. A lot of things have been out of their control. They had a serious injury to a quarterback early in the season that they've had to struggle through all year long. But this is a chance to really right the ship in the last game of the season.
And we are underway. Mason Robinson with it. The season opened briefly, but it shut down, and he is shut down inside the 30. There's a look at Mike Teal, who's been injured a lot of the years, has not been able to practice a lot of this season, but still has been very effective.
Well, in the third week of the season against Norfolk State, he suffered a thumb injury to his throwing hand at the end of that football game, and it stayed with him over the entire course of the season. It was an injury that really kept him from practicing more than one time a week throughout the regular year.
Rice in the backfield. The lone back. Two split to the left. Rice takes the handoff. Dances outside. Across the 30, across the 35, 40, up to the 50 before he's pushed out of bounds. 22 yards on the carry for Ray Rice.
Here's what we're getting, the steady dose of Ray Rice, and boys, he's going to have over 200 yards rushing today. Watch him catch the corner here. He bounces it back on the cutback, and right there, losing containment. You can't let that happen. You're in a position to make the play coming outside in. You cannot lose containment. Ray Rice is going to have a field day running the football today. That was Eddie Burke losing the containment.
The quickness to get to the outside after the original hole was shut down was what's so impressive. Rice again this time. He's cut down at the 50. Just a 2-yard gain. The Rutgers offense looks like this, and of course Teal the quarterback, but Ray Rice is the guy, and we've got 2,000-yard receivers in Underwood of Britain. Now on offensive line, Sosa and Zuta, the seniors, are the anchors, but you know, with Ray Rice running the football, that is a terrific offensive line straight across the board. Again, Rice in the backfield. This time Teal's looking to pass. And has his man inside the 40-yard line. Kenny Britt with the reception. Ball State defense looks like this, and this is the teams are going to try and shut down Ray Rice and Mike Teal rather. Crawford, the sophomore, at the defensive end, will apply the pressure. Ryan Haynes, a junior who's had a terrific season in the linebacking core, and as you can see in the defensive backfield, they're going to have to try and stay with a couple of 1,000-yard wide receivers for Rutgers. Rice again. This time he's shut down after a gain of maybe 2.
Really a big challenge today for this Ball State defense, particularly the defensive line, is going to be playing against a much more physical offensive line. If you look per man, Rutgers averages 6'5", 308 yards up front versus Ball State's average of 6'2", 267. So Ball State is giving up almost 41 pounds a man on that line of scrimmage, and that's going to be a lot to overcome if they want to slow down this running game for Rutgers.
Teal barking out the signals. This time he's going to pass again. He's looking deep across the middle, but it's short. Had a man open there, Doug.
Yeah, he had Underwood running up through the seam up front. Right away, if there's an adjustment by Ball State. They went to an 8-man front. They jumped down to a double eagle. We call the bear front, whatever. But they got a press coverage on the outside. Going to challenge the receivers a little more and get more people in the box to help defend the run.
You're absolutely right. If Ball State's defense decides they want to take this run away, that's going to put them in a lot of man-to-man situations on the outside. And John, you mentioned it earlier, 2 1,000-yard receivers on the side of Rutgers. That's a mismatch problem for Ball State on that aspect as well.
And Teal's hand is healthy now. I mean, he can throw the football now. He missed that throw, but he can let it rip now.
Out of the shotgun this time for Teal. And again, he's going deep. He's got a man wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Rutgers. Tim Brown with the reception. 37-yard touchdown toss.
Well, Doug, Mike Teal's hand looked pretty good on that pass, didn't it?
He just let that one out in front. No free safety in the middle of the field. One-on-one coverage. Impossible to cover a post route man-to-man with no help.
And this is really the start that Rutgers wants to get off to. It's 3rd and long. They're in the gun, and Tim Brown is just going to run a post route and run right by B.J. Hill on the outside. Gets under the ball nicely, cradles it in. 6-0 Rutgers early.
And the judge, Jeremy Ito, all-time leading scorer in Rutgers history. Knocks it through in a 7-0 lead. Very impressive opening drive by the Scarlet Knights.
I think they're just going to have an opportunity today to be so balanced offensively. You know, coming in, if you're Rutgers offensively, you're expecting Ball State to do something to try to take the run away, and that just is going to open so many opportunities in the passing game down the football field.
Yeah, we were talking with Brady Hogue, and he said they're going to have to create negative plays. They're going to have to blitz. You see him coming up the middle. The blitz pickup is perfect. Teal just stands there, feet under him, makes an easy throw for the touchdown to Brown. It looked too easy because of the protection. Being able to pick up the blitz is the key to beating the blitz.
How about Tim Brown's speed? You saw the separation in the end zone there, running right by. That's B.J. Hill, who Mark Smith, the defensive coordinator at Ball State, said is maybe the biggest reason why they've gotten so many more turnovers this year. He has 5 interceptions on the season. He's got great hips, great ability to run with people. And you saw Tim Brown run right by him on the way to the post.
He's a former running back, moved to defensive back, and he is the best athlete in that secondary by far. And like you said, Tim Brown just ran right by him.
Well, what else was impressive was he had to adjust his speed to get to the ball as well.
Accelerate and go after it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I saw Tim Brown yesterday on the field, talked to him for a couple minutes. He's little. Now, I'm small. He's like 160. He's listed at 160 pounds, so he's probably about 55. I hate when people say that. No, he's listed at 160. He's 160, all right? He is what he's listed, but he's a little guy.
I wonder why you hate when people do that.
Well, people look at it and say, oh, he's 5'10" in the book, so you must be 5'8".
Dante Love, the brief return. And now we're going to get a chance to look at Nate Davis, just a sophomore, but 27 touchdowns against only 6 interceptions this year.
And you'll notice he's wearing gloves, man after my own heart, throwing the gloves. And I think it really allows him to spin the ball that much harder and better. He throws the ball hard. He really throws it hard.
What is exactly the principle behind the guys who like gloves and the guys? I got 2 quarterbacks.
He's a smaller quarterback, you know, and it's the grip on the ball. It's the confidence in your grip is the reason you go to the glove. You big guys with these hands, Jesse, that can drive, you know, heck with you.
Empty backfield. Davis across the middle. Ball is complete to Ift. To take a look at the Ball State offense as well. Nate Davis, of course, again, just a sophomore. And he likes to go to Darius Hill and Dante Love. The tight end will be his target a lot. That's protecting him, you see. Tossed out to the left. This time to Hill, as we just mentioned, one of his favorites. But we've got illegal procedure on the field.
Sorry, it's my fault. I threw the curveball to John. I'm saying they're hurrying up here. They're going no huddle. He came right out the gate with the no huddle offense and letting it rip.
I thought you were throwing a flag on me there.
I'll flag you down there.
Again out of the shotgun. Some room to run, but has a man open. Tosses it across to Ift again, his second reception of the game.
We were talking to Stan Parrish before the game, and he said they were going to be throwing the football coming off the bus, and that's exactly what they're doing here.
And as you said, into that hurry-up, no-huddle offense. Davis again, back to pass. Good protection, steps up, though, and can't avoid the sack. Foster gets to him.
Not the fastest guy in the world, but he moves around well in the pocket. Foster with the big sack. He is the leader of the defensive line.
Well, Eric Foster is a little undersized to play defensive tackle. 6'2", 265 pounds, but he's very agile and very quick inside. He's had made a lot of plays this year in the backfield. 13 tackles for losses so far this season. That was his 6th sack on the year. Very active little guy inside for Rutgers. First team All Big East as well.
Clancy in the backfield as well. There's a little handoff to Dante Love, and Love takes it towards the sidelines, picks up a few.
You know, I was talking to Parrish about, well, are you going to be able to run the ball at all? He says, we'll find some ways to run the ball. We'll get Dante on those wide receiver sweeps and maybe use hitch screens as our running game, you know, the quick throwing game and all that. But it's going to be tough up front to just pound the ball against Rutgers.
Well, they have to find a way to get the football into Dante Love's hands, whether that's running the football or catching the football. He's a first-team All-MAC guy who scored 9 touchdowns this season. He's a mismatch problem for Rutgers. Very quick. Their biggest playmaker on offense is Dante Love.
Third down. The ball dropped by Clancy. It was right in his hands, and he would have had a first down.
Clancy coming out of the backfield. There's been running back by committee for Ball State all year long. A lot of injuries, a lot of guys. He's more the third down guy, pass protections, and the sure-handed, or actually should be sure-handed type guy. And Frank Edmonds is the quick, speedy tailback when he's in the ball game.
Chris Miller is the punter. Robinson back to field it. Standing on his own 10-yard line. I'm sure because over his head he's going to want to go, but it's coming up short. He's going to want to drop anyway, and it takes a bounce for Rutgers and down at the 20-yard line. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights come out fast and have a 7-0 lead.
Disciplined investing. At T. Rowe Price, it's not just about the short term. It's about a steady, long-term approach. For each 3, 5, and 10-year period, over 70% of our mutual funds beat their Lipper average. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
Here, you need NyQuil for that cold.
Huh?
Yeah, you'll sleep like a bit. Sleep like you did before the rooster went blind.
NyQuil, cold relief for a great night's sleep.
The bucket list is exhilarating, hysterically funny.
You hate me? Not yet.
One of the year's most entertaining movies, The Bucket List. Rated PG-13. Now playing in select cities everywhere January 11th.
When this song comes on, you immediately feel it. The groove kind of builds from something minimal. It kind of chugs along. It's like a train that's building up steam. And as the energy is just gathering and gathering, you feel like it's going to explode sooner or later. And you just feel like she's not going to take it anymore.
I'm the biggest, baddest mucus.
There's a new sheriff in town to drive your toughest mucus out. New Maximum Strength Mucinex. One pill has the most mucus-fighting medicine to get rid of chest congestion for 12 hours. New Maximum Strength Mucinex in, mucus out.
MX versus ATV, Untamed. Rated everyone.
Go online and watch Capital One Bowl Week live, or replay your favorite moments and catch the games you missed. ESPN360.com. Log on today.
Back here in Toronto, where Rutgers has jumped out to a 7-0 lead, and their defense held as well. And there's a look at Teal, and Teal has set a Rutgers single-season passing record with his 18th scoring pass of the season on that opening drive. So the hand looks good. Rice bounces up the middle. Want to remind everybody, college football bowl season continues on ESPN. Sunday night with the GMAC Bowl as Tyler Sheehan and the Bowling Green Falcons take on Paul Smith and the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. The GMAC Bowl on ESPN Sunday at 8. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
Paul Smith, one of those cerebral quarterbacks that manages the game, spreads the ball around. He's done a great job down in Tulsa.
If you're a fan of aerial football, that's a game you're going to want to watch.
Teal out of the shotgun. Fakes the handoff. And again wants to go long and deep. Oh, the ball is dropped. Had his receiver, and Mason Robinson just could not hang on to it.
The old wheel route out of the backfield by the tailback. Put that on the money. Teal's hand looks real good. He's throwing the ball well.
Yeah, he sure is. Now he's got his running back on a wheel route out, trying to get him mismatched on the rush end there. It's Cortland Booker, he's an outside linebacker type rush end. That's a mismatch for Rutgers. You got to make that catch. There's going to be big play opportunities in this football game, but you have to capitalize when you get your chances.
Sitting in the booth with two quarterbacks here. I know you guys don't like to see those drop passes. Kill your statistics.
Sit that guy down, will you? We're all about winning games, John.
Oh, terrific catch. And a terrific hit after Britt. Hangs on to it as McClure just leveled it.
Teal again with great protection, makes a nice throw on the corner route, laying it to the outside, and the Brit just hanging on the ball. You'd like to put this ball a little more low and away if you could, but great catch, extension, and hang on the football.
Tell you what, Tim Brown for 5'8", playing outside of his frame, going up and getting the ball. He's had an impressive first quarter so far.
The play is going to be reviewed.
Well, they're going to review that play to make sure that he got a foot down inbounds. Watch it again on our replay so we can decide before they do.
See him just go up way above his body.
Foot's down.
Foot's down. Does he have possession of the football? Looks like he does. That should be a catch. It's amazing. He left his feet probably 7-8 yards in bounds.
He actually got both feet in bounds. He dragged the right foot on. Not that he had a choice, but the right foot touched the ground as well. He holding on to the ball was the key there. Like I said, Tim Brown's only 160 pounds. He's a little guy.
Ball State so far has really had a hard time getting pressure on Mike Teal. I know they want to commit a lot of guys up near the line of scrimmage and try to take Ray Rice away from this football game, but they're going to have to find a way to get more pressure because Mike Teal right now, healthy hand or injured hand, he has all day to throw the ball so far.
Well, Tim Brown's making plays for him.
After review, video confirms the call on the field. The catch was made. First down.
Kenny Britt's a stud. You know, he's 6'4". He's a freak. They call him as an athlete. So I mean, they've got and Taekwon Underwood, who's over 1,000 yards again this year. I mean, they have a great receiving core, throwing a football, running it. I tell you, Ball State, they're going to try to blitz them, stunt, do whatever they can on first and second down to create a negative play.
Well, right now, Teal, 3 of 5 for 69 yards, so he's had plenty of time back there. He got back. Yeah, he got back. That's trying to get somebody to jump. Somebody's making him jump. Rice gets the ball, goes to his right, and fights his way for about 4 yards before Karoma pulls him down.
Defensive coordinator from Ball State, Mark Smith, told us yesterday that if Amara Karoma, the defensive tackle from Ball State, has a big day, then their defense has a big day. He's the type of guy up front that can cause a lot of confusion, get penetration into the backfield. If he has a big day, he showed us very nicely on that play his ability to scrape down the line of scrimmage and make a tackle. He's got to have a big game if Ball State wants to win this football game.
Rice's first carry in this game was 21 yards. His last 4 has only gained 9 yards. So Ball State tightening up the line a little bit, but again, wide open to Kenny Britt, one of the 1,000-yard receivers for Rutgers. B.J. Hill was there to bring him down.
Kenny Britt shaking up on the play down on the field. Nice little seam route, catches the ball at the seam, but it all starts with the pass protection.
They sure do. He's got great protection again. Ball State's running a cover 3 defense. They have 3 defenders playing deep, but there's big holes down the seams, and that's exactly where Kenny Britt gets right into. He's got that big size again, 6'4", a nice big target for Mike Teal to fit the football into. And as you see the numbers right now, he just had an outstanding year, 2nd team all Big East. He's had 14 plays this year of more than 25 yards. He's been a big playmaker down the football field for Rutgers this season.
And you saw the 7 touchdowns as well. Maybe just banged up, got the wind knocked out of him or something, because he seems okay coming off the field. Easy for me to say, right?
Yeah, right.
Greg Schiano, what a job he has done with the program. I mean, this program wasn't just below the surface. It was buried 6 feet deep. He has brought it back. Rice the long back.
on the play, this should be a touchdown. He needs to lay this one out in front and get it out in front of the receiver. The receiver's basically one-on-one against Trey. Trey undercuts it for the interception, but the ball's underthrown. The ball's thrown out in the middle of the field towards the middle of the end zone. We have a shot.
Trey Lewis with the interception, saving a touchdown for Ball State. They'll have the ball when we come back.
I first heard this song when I was about 15 years old, listening to Oscar Peterson at the Orpheum in Vancouver. Completely blown away. I knew right then that I wanted to be a jazz musician. It still moves me to the point where I can't express it except on the piano.
Nobody gives you more power than Interstate Batteries. And we have a national warranty program with over 200,000 dealers to back it up. How do we make them so powerful? Now that's a secret. And here's another secret.
Well, Ball State actually decided they didn't want to wait for us. Well, commercial just ran their second play. Frank Edmonds out of the backfield with a pretty good run.
Now Edmonds is limping. They have no running back, no healthy running backs. I'll tell you what, they have been beaten up at the running back position, Ball State has.
Frank Edmonds is only a true freshman, a little guy, 5'8", 191 pounds. He's had his injury problems this year. Still was the leading rusher for Ball State all season long. They got to find ways to run the football today. They cannot be one-dimensional on offense, just throwing it.
Dante Love in the backfield. Good toss and a nice move. Dante Love, as we said, coming out of the backfield, taking that pass.
Great job by Davis hanging in there with pressure in his face, delivering. It was a short throw, and Love makes the first down on his own.
I like how they line up Dante Love in different spots, too. He's not just lining up a wide receiver. Offensive coordinator Stan Parrish is putting him in the backfield, using him at different attack points to try to get pressure on this defense. I really, really like that call, specifically the way they lined up.
The 1st and 10. Clancy in the backfield. Davis going to run out of problems towards the sideline and tosses this one deep. Boy, I understand now what you're saying when they say he thinks somebody's open on every play, because there were 4 Rutgers players.
He thinks he can make every throw. He's got 4 Rutgers players chasing the receiver, Hill, and he's rolling to his right, getting pushed out of bounds. He's still going to try to make the throw.
And Stan Parrish told us he does a great job in practice of not turning the football over. He doesn't throw very many interceptions in practice, and those good habits translate to game day. He only threw 6 interceptions this season compared to 27 touchdown passes. And Stan Parrish says he's just one of those guys. If I don't call 6 deep balls a game, then I'm not doing our offense any justice.
2nd and 10. Again out of the shotgun. Davis, short little toss across the middle. It's going to gain him about 5 yards. Dante Love pulling this one in.
You know, I thought on that first series of the football game, Rutgers was very stagnant on defense. They were just standing around. They weren't moving very much. They were giving Nate Davis a nice picture every 3 snap in terms of what they were going to do. So far this series, we've seen Rutgers start to move around a little bit. They're trying to confuse the young sophomore quarterback and give him different looks and confuse him. A nice job by Greg Schiano.
5 and 7 for 42 yards for Davis.
Schiano has every blitz in the book, so we'll send everything at him. Here they come.
With 3rd down, swings it out. Love gets hauled down almost immediately. So they'll turn it over, have to punt.
Well, that was a Dante Love drive, wasn't it? In the few plays we just saw it, they lined him up everywhere. They found different ways, swing passes, crossing routes, trying to get their best player on offense the football against a very, very fast Rutgers defense.
You have to get the ball in your hands of the playmakers on your team.
Chris Miller, the punter. Whoa, barely gets that away. That one might have got touched. Tipped a little bit, bounces around. It's good for Ball State as it rolls to the 30 because that is very close to being blocked. Back to Toronto, where Rutgers fans have made the trip.
Oh, I have the worst cold.
Here, take some NyQuil. It'll relieve your symptoms to help you sleep.
Huh?
Yeah, you'll sleep like a bit. You'll sleep like a sleep like you did before the rooster went blind.
NyQuil.
I'll take that.
The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever, best sleep you ever got with a cold medicine. For daytime symptoms, try DayQuil.
Why are energy drinks bad? 12 spoons of sugar? That's bad. 200 calories? Bad. Guarana? Tisk, tisk. Good for a short jittery burst, then a debilitating crash. So don't drink energy drinks. Drink 5-Hour Energy. It's not a drink, more like a sip. But with that sip, you'll feel alert and focused for hours, without the crash or jitters. It has 0 sugar, only 4 calories, and no guarana. 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no crash later.
Pierce, what's with the new sports car? How to ride?
Maybe. Hey, Walter, let's play some golf this afternoon.
Oh, sorry, I haven't sold anything all month.
Dude, how do you do it? You sold $3 million this quarter already. Motley, only fools work hard. I work smart. I use salesgenie.com. I get just the right sales leads.
For 100 free sales leads, go to salesgenie.com.
Say cheese. Papa John's is celebrating 24 years of quality and giving you an order of cheese sticks free. Buy any large specialty pizza at regular price and get 14 delicious dippable cheese sticks free. So smile and say cheese. Free cheese sticks. Call or click papajohns.com today.
Taste the difference. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
ESPN College Football, the International Bowl, is brought to you by Lexus and their pursuit of perfection, and Interstate Batteries. For a dealer near you, visit interstatebatteries.com. Every battery for every need.
Just off the coast of Toronto, in the shadow of the CN Tower, is a small island called Center Island. It's actually got an airport on there that you can fly small planes in there. I wouldn't fly one, but you can.
But you can. You can fly Doug's plane.
Teal going deep. Flag. I knew there was going to be a pass
I saw
interference on that.
John's pointing and making the call, pointing at the official. Make that call.
Lewis with the penalty. Ball was intended for Underwood.
Trey Lewis went for the same interception that he had down on the goal line. Same exact type of coverage. Tries to undercut it.
Pass interference. Number 12 of the defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
It's that safeguard reaching around with the right arm to hold.
It looks like he just grabbed hold of Tyquan Underwood's left shoulder, and it really impeded him from catching that football. You're seeing the speed difference right now from Rutgers, particularly at the wide receiver position. A couple times now, we've seen receivers get vertical down the field beyond their secondary.
Okay, a little coaching here on coverage. They're playing quarters coverage, 4 across the field. What they're doing is taking a receiver up, occupying a safety, and then running the post behind him deep.
Music to my ears, Doug. Hope you can follow that.
Teal takes a snap. Tosses it to Rice. Rice is nowhere to go. Cut down immediately by Booker. Let's check in with Scott Reese.
All right, John, over on ESPN, college hoops, as Kansas looks to remain perfect on the season, and Mario Chalmers helping the cause. Nice dish to Darrell Arthur, who's got 10 early points. Jayhawks lead Boston College by a dozen. John?
Yeah.
Boston College.
Yeah.
It's still early.
It's all right. It's
still early, Doug. It's still early. Lots of games to be
Tyrese Rice,
played.
baby. Tyrese Rice, lefty point guard. He's going to light it up.
He better. Teal again. Drops back. This time he's passing. Got a little pass rush, but steps up ahead of it. And a terrific pass to Tyquan Underwood.
A lot of first and second down, 8-man front type of looks from Ball State to try to commit and stop that run, and it's allowing Rutgers to throw the ball up the field, even though this time it's a zone.
Absolutely, and Taekwon Underwood playing in the slot. They're just going to run a cross pattern. We used to call it a fork route, where they just intersect each other. Mike Teal doing a nice job just laying the football out in front, allowing his receiver to make the play and get both feet in bounds. It's amazing. Ball State has not seen an offense that has the skill players that Rutgers had at running back and at wide receiver. There's a lot of mismatch issues right now.
And again, another 1st and 10. This time handed off to Rice again. A little hesitation. Bounces it outside. And he reached the 30 before he was cut down. About 3. Nip gets to him. But you want to talk about that Mike Teal has some good targets. It's pretty good when you got a couple of guys that combine for over 2,000 yards.
Well, it's incredible. It's only the 26th time it's ever happened in college football, but it's the first time it's ever happened in the Big East. When you consider there's 4 teams this year that have 2 receivers of over 1,000 yards, and they're passing juggernaut schools. The Texas Techs, Tulsa, Hawaii, and Rutgers is the 4th.
Teal again, and again this time he's going to hand it off to Rice. This time Rice busts through the hole and then shows his quickness to get it down to the 20. Burke finally brings him down, but not before Rice had done the damage. 12 yards on a pickup.
Again, this is the key to Rutgers' offense, is running the football and coming off the O-line and blowing people off the ball. Rice sees the cutback lane and turns it north to south. Hearing from the other side. Just vision cutting back. He's strong, runs physically, I should say.
Rutgers in trips to the red zone this year have scored 24 touchdowns in 46 trips. Rice again gets outside, cuts back. Just great footwork.
They've been making a living so far this football game, running to the right side behind big stud offensive linemen. You're going to see right guard Anthony Davis and right tackle Jeremy Zutaw just blowing their guys off the ball. And look at the patience of Ray Rice, knowing how to set up his blocks. He gets the edge, turns it north. Taekwon Underwood, just a little shove move, get back inside and get more positive yards. Offensive coordinators love running backs who can always they don't run out of bounds, they get more yards moving forward.
Rice is just going to power his way into the end zone. There was little question there about what the play call was going to be.
You know, this offensive line is anchored by 3 seniors, Sosa, Blazek, and Zuda. And these guys are going to be graduating and moving on. And I'll tell you what, Ray Rice has had a phenomenal career running behind these guys.
And you look at the job right guard Anthony Davis does. He's a true freshman, 6'6", 350 pounds. He turned 18 this past October. A man-child, monster.
Ito again for the extra point. He's one of the fan favorites of Rutgers. I saw his jersey more than Ray Rice.
Yeah, Davis was 17 when he started his college career, turned 18 this year. He's going against Brandon Crawford, 31-year-old sophomore.
And a Sporting News All-American as well for Davis. Ray Rice, well on his way to another 100-yard game. It would be 8 straight.
Go online and watch Capital One Bowl Week live or replay your favorite moments and catch the games you missed. ESPN360.com. Log on today.
This double berry smoothie is fantastic. I love the raspberries and the strawberries. I mean, there's no way this could be good for me.
Actually, it's got vitamins A and C.
No. This is an indulgent, creamy treat, all right? It's not healthy in any way.
But it is fat-free, so it's kind of
Brian.
Okay, but it has fiber, but I mean, that's just...
Come on.
Double Berry Smoothie. New at Sonic. A fat-free combination of real raspberries and strawberries blended with yogurt. Try one or any of our other smoothies because Sonic is your ultimate drink stop.
MX versus ATV. Untamed. Rated everyone.
Rob, you know Verizon Wireless still has lots of really great phones on sale. Got myself a Venus with a touchscreen.
The holidays aren't over yet.
Because some of the season's hottest phones are up to 50% off, like the Samsung U620, perfect for Vcast mobile TV, just $49.99. Or get the Moto Q Music, just $99.99. Verizon Wireless.
I'm the biggest, baddest mucus.
There's a new sheriff in town to drive your toughest mucus out. New Maximum Strength Mucinex. One pill has the most mucus-fighting medicine to get rid of chest congestion for 12 hours. New Maximum Strength Mucinex in, mucus out.
Beethoven, he wrote a few toe tappers. When he wrote this, he'd lost his hearing, poor man, so he was imagining this. When you close your eyes, you can see the whole orchestra in front of you. You find yourself lost in it and following it. It doesn't all come at you at once. It doesn't start like a rock and roll record, but it's exciting like a rock and roll record.
A little tradition here. This guy's pretending he's Wayne Gretzky behind the net, out in front of Yari Curry, and he scores. I mean, we did this all the time as kids. You just get a shovel, you go find a pond or a lake, you clear it off, and you play hockey. And, of course, the Stanley Cup winners. Toronto there you see in second place, but they haven't won one since 66-67. And I know your Bruins there.
They're hanging tough, but it's been a while. It's been a long drought for the Bruins. They're playing well this year, though. How about the outdoor hockey game?
Oh, that was awesome.
Playing in the snow like the old days.
I think they should do that for the All-Star game every year. Of course, it'd be hard if the All-Star game was like in Tampa. Ito again ready to kick off. And it's going to be a short one again. Fielded at the 11 by Dante Love. Little reverse. B.J. Hill gets it on the reverse, and he has some space down the sidelines before he's finally hauled down by McCarthy.
Dante Love, your big play guy. Kickoff returns, punt returns, hit screens, reverses. Get the ball in his hands. Nope, we're going to pitch it and run the reverse.
And pitching it to B.J. Hill, who's now the starting cornerback, but for the last 2 seasons played running back. And you see the wide open running ability in the open field. Little shake and bake, and now giving his team great field position because they have to score points here on this drive.
Yeah, they needed a big play there. They needed it. They got a chance here. Now they got to finish this off, stick it in the end zone. Nate Davis can make plays, throwing a football, get this offense cranking.
Clancy in the backfield. Davis out of the shotgun. The Ball State fans are starting to get vocal. Quick toss right across the middle. It's going to be a big gainer. Down to the 20 is Darius Hill hauled it in. The Mackey Award finalist. 22 career touchdowns for Darius Hill.
Well, he's a big target at 6'6", and right now, Ball State happy just trying to throw these crossing routes. Rutgers starting to bring more pressure. There's a lot of man-to-man situations in the secondary, and Darius Hill, he's a tight end, but he plays like a wide receiver. 6'6" and can run. You saw it on that play there.
Davis just looks so calm as he just a little toss across the middle, right on the man, and just steps up. That pass was a little bit too deep.
You're saying he looks calm in the pocket, and like Jesse said, they brought it off the edge. They were bringing pressure. Very quiet feet. He's just sitting there under control, allows the receiver, Hill, come underneath, dumps it over the middle. He's relaxed in the pocket.
And the amazing thing to me, Doug, is watching the velocity on his ball come out, wearing those gloves, not using the laces. I am shocked he can spin it as well as he does and throw it as hard as he does.
Davis is going to get hauled down as the entire defensive line got in there. Melaston Rinkart get the sack. Let's go down to Stacey Dales.
Well, guys, one of the reasons that Nate Davis is so comfortable playing in the pocket is because he grew up playing shotgun only, and it's also a reason he wears those gloves. When he jumped into this Ball State program, as you guys know, he could not handle a snap under center. He told me this week that he dropped every single ball that he took under center. That's why he's put those gloves on, guys, and that's why he's so comfortable in that shotgun.
Ball State just 1 of 3 on third down conversions. They got a long one to go here, 20 yards to get a first. Davis is chased back to almost to the 50, and then just has to get rid of it.
Did a nice job of just throwing the ball away. But going back to the gloves, I have small hands as well, and you're taking snaps from center, and it's like hitting a bullseye. And with the gloves on, you can take one-handed snaps, and the thing just sticks to your hand. Here again, Rutgers just bringing the pressure, trying to set up a screen. The screen was covered, does a good job of throwing a football away.
It's a really hard defense to identify if you're a quarterback because guys are standing up, guys are getting in three-point stances, they're moving around. It's tough to identify who to block, and you saw there Brandon Rinkart get in for the pressure.
Ian McGarvey for the field goal. Back snap. Got it down, and he was able to nail it through a sort of a line drive.
It's a great kick with the ball slipping and falling to the ground. The holder gets the ball up there, and he basically one-stepped.
I'm not so sure he didn't kick that with the laces either. It didn't look necessarily the laces got out.
Justice did a great job.
Got a quarterback throwing the ball without the laces. We got a kicker kicking it with the laces.
Hey, we're just doing it all wrong. Laces out, Finkel.
Nice job of concentration. Nice stroke. Stroke it through. They had to get points on that drive. They did. Successful drive for Ball State.
See, Ray Finkel would have missed that because the laces were not out. Those are for your Peck Detective fans.
Jim Carrey's Canadian.
Another Canadian.
It's just another theme of today's game, John.
Exactly. Can't get in the building unless you know a Canadian. Want to remind everybody, College Game Day, built by the Home Depot. Join Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, and Kirk Herbstreit as they get ready to review the 2007 season and all the bowl games. 7 o'clock Eastern on Monday. College Game Day, built by the Home Depot. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Those guys, nobody has more mileage than Chris, Lee, and Kirk. Especially Kirk when he's got to get to games afterwards, too. Mason Robinson with the ball. Were they running a trick play?
I'm not so sure that wasn't going to be a throwback to Tyquan Underwood. Tyquan Underwood falls down and plays it off so nicely as he gets up.
And he drifts off to the opposite side of the field. They were looking to lateral that ball across the field. Now, Schiano on the Thursday night games, when they had those Thursday night games, he brought all the trick plays out. He ran fake field goals, fake punts, throwbacks, you name it. So tonight, you know, all bets are off tonight.
Yeah, there was no question when Underwood hit the deck.
Good sales job. I was gonna make fun of him.
He wasn't tripped up by the 10-yard line. He just jumped up and got him. Quarter's about to run out. Rice, season opening, busts it up for about 2 yards before Perry brings him down. Oh, Ball State saying they got the ball. Ball State is still jumping up and down saying they got the ball. But
see that line judge hand in the air?
Yeah.
That means the ball is down right here, and
Exactly.
it's second down,
Holding
son.
2 fingers up, no mystery.
I always love it when the defensive team thinks they have it, and they're jumping up and down, pointing as if that's going to affect the official call.
Absolutely.
The first quarter comes to an end, an entertaining one, as Rutgers scores twice. That was a look at Nathan Phillips Square there. Greg Schiano and crew up 14-3 over Ball State. We'll get back to Toronto in the second quarter in a moment.
Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Phil? Phil?
Innovation Man.
What's going on?
Innovation Workshop.
And your job is?
Kick off the innovation agenda. Fire up the troops for innovation.
Hence the I.
I for ideation. I for incubation. I for invigoration.
I for implementation?
Oh, I knew I forgot something.
Bud Light is brewed to give you everything you want in a beer. Never-ending refreshment, superior drinkability, and now, the power of teleportation.
Pardon me? See you later, suckers! Oh, man. Boom!
Second flotation no longer available in Bud Light.
See you later, sucker.
The endless refreshment, however, remains.
Bud Light keeps it coming.
What's up, Tammy?
Until now, guys that sweat a lot had to have a backup plan. Now there's a better plan. New Gillette Clinical Strength Antiperspirant. Powerful wetness protection. 34% better than a prescription product. A lot more confidence.
Hey, Jansen, you got that report, right?
You bet.
There's something different about you. Did you get a haircut?
Gillette Clinical Strength Antiperspirant. Change your life, not your shirt.
I saw this in the window and thought it was so Old Mutual. I just had to try it on.
It is so Old Mutual.
Dude, I think we just achieved Old Mutual.
Can you believe Johnson got that promotion? I mean, what makes him so Old Mutual?
He is married to Crenshaw's daughter.
May sound strange now, but with our new thinking about your financial future, it won't for long.
Hey, I'm trying Old Mutual here.
Nobody gives you more power than Interstate Batteries. And we have a national warranty program with over 200,000 dealers to back it up. How do we make them so powerful? Now that's a secret. And here's another secret. We've got every battery for every need. Interstate Batteries, the official battery of Joe Gibbs Racing.
Welcome back. Rutgers with a 14-3 lead, doing a lot of it on the ground. 65 yards rushing, all to Ray Rice. For Ball State, they do not have a yard rushing the ball. It's going to be tough to win.
That's going to have to change against that defense. That's going to have to change. You cannot be one-dimensional and beat Rutgers that way.
Spread it out, throw it every play. Let's go. We're going to air it out, baby.
A true CF Fowler right there spoken.
Take a little pain reliever and keep that wing going.
You're still looking down there for the 55-yard line.
I was so confused. I called it center field yesterday.
Teal, handoff. Rice again. Picks up a few. Now, we talked about the CFL. I said 55-yard line. Now, we've seen this pass. I think I might have seen this pass once or twice this year. And there's Doug Flutie, 6-time CFL MVP.
There's a Canadian game right there, baby.
Look at him run that ball in there, though. The Grey Cup champion, Toronto Argonauts.
Played the way the game is supposed to be played. In the true elements.
Snow. That was Paul Mazzotti there on the podium with me. The flying bonefish, they call him, as he blocks punts.
Also voted, and I'm proud to say this, partner, the #1 player in the history of the Canadian Football League.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
And again, as we said, if you're going to come to Canada, bring the people who are used to being up here. We got a guy from Toronto, got a guy from Ottawa, we had a beautiful young lady from Brockville, and we've got Doug Flutie.
The guy at the bottom of that list, though, has spent more time in Canada than the rest of us combined over the last 6-7 years.
There's no question about it. I've been 25 years. I've been in.
That's where I learned to throw with the gloves on, and that's why I like this kid so much, Nate Davis, throwing with the gloves on. Canada, baby.
You better have gloves on.
There were some cold Grey Cups. We played some outdoor Grey Cups that were cold.
I was going to say, Teal now back to pass, sets up. And has it batted down right back in his face. Let's have more with Stacy.
Well, John, I heard you talking about hockey, and just to let you guys know, I grew up playing a little road hockey of my own out on the ice out with the boys, guys. And if the boys didn't want to play with the girl, they had to go home because I picked the teams.
And also,
it's her game.
As a physical basketball player, as Stacy was at Oklahoma, you could probably knock most of those boys over.
You better believe it, baby.
Team Canada is playing in the junior international tournament right now. Beat Team USA yesterday. Teal, ball just inside the 30. Again, the handoff to Ray Rice.
Now, Stacy was talking about road hockey. I can play road hockey. I got good feet. I could run. But when put me on the ice, forget about it. Now, this guy was on the ice at Western Michigan, Mr. John Saunders, with the fro. All 9 inches of the fro. It's Fletch days.
Playing at Western Michigan, a MAC school.
A MAC school.
Mid-American school. They were here.
And you and your brother set the all-time scoring for a brother combination at Western Michigan,
That's
didn't you?
exactly right. My brother had probably a few hundred. I had 1.
Hey, man, it counts.
Oh. Rutgers has been 3 of 3 on 3rd down conversions, and again make it 4 of 4 as they now get the ball across the 50. Kenny Britt hauls it in.
You know what's so nice about this play is the anticipation by Mike Teal throwing the football when Kenny Britt is not even facing him. He's running a deep curl route on B.J. Hill from Ball State. The ball is thrown at the back of his head, anticipates it beautifully to convert for the first down. Nice job by Mike Teal.
And because he anticipated, he didn't have to throw it hard. He threw it with a little air on it, just lofted there. He turned, he found the ball in the air and made the catch.
Mason Robinson in the backfield this time. Teal 7 of 11 for 139 yards. This time he hands it off.
You know, Brady Hoke talked about having to create negative plays, turnovers, come up with something. He knew that Rutgers would be more physical and be able to run the ball on him. Trey Lewis came out with a big interception down by the goal line, but since then they haven't been able to create any more turnovers. They got to get pressure on the quarterback.
Well, how about the job Brady Hoke's been able to do at the program? This is Ball State's first bowl appearance in the last 11 years. They went 7-5 this season, and they really earned this trip here. They played 6 teams that were bowl eligible on their way to getting here. He's done an outstanding job.
Of course, he's a lifer as well, pretty much, at Ball State. And a little reverse. And Tim Brown just shows his great speed. I mean, he had the first down marker.
Kenny Britt just blew up Trey Bice. Oh, my Lord, on the crackback block.
There's Brady Hoke. As we mentioned, he was a captain. 4-year letterman and captain during his season, his senior season. 5th season as head coach, and it's Ball State's first bowl appearance since 1996. Trey Bice is down on the field.
Now this is a reverse, so when Britt's going to make the block, totally blindsides Bice.
Oh. Kenny Britt snaps his head back. Watch that. We'll stick around, check on Bice, and get back here in a moment.
Watching football. It's tough. That's high def, right? Oh, it's like B in there.
Move! It's 4th and 1. This is a
What?
juncture.
Hey, can we flip over to figure skating?
What an amazing...
Wow, that's probably a big play, huh?
At least you can keep your heartburn from coming back with Prilosec OTC. The only OTC heartburn remedy that works to block heartburn before it begins. For 24 hours with 1 pill a day. Try Prilosec OTC, the round-the-clock heartburn blocker.
We stopped selling the Whopper for 1 day to see what would happen.
We no longer carry the Whopper.
What? You're losing me as a customer if you get rid of the Whopper.
At this point, I think it's a huge mistake. I think it's the best burger nationwide.
No more Whoppers. I could cry.
I'm not going to come here. There's no reason for me to come here anymore.
It sucks.
It's nuts.
What are you going to put on the logo now? You know, home of the whatever we got?
What happened was, people freaked.
Get me a Whopper.
strong, and then there's Army strong. See what it's like at GoArmy.com.
Well, Trey Bice not only got up, but he was letting the Rutgers guys know it. I mean, he got smoked, and he's still talking.
He's saying, when I get out of the penalty box, I'm coming back in the third period. I'm going to... Oh, wait a minute.
But his head not only gets snapped back, he gets snapped back from the waist.
Well, Kenny Britt's 6'4", nice tall guy. I don't know if you get a little lower there to make that hit, or if that's an illegal hit hitting him in the head or not.
That's that concussion test they're showing right there. As a player, that's not fun.
Just tossed off to Rice, but he just had it on his fingertips and couldn't pull it in.
Ball just a touch out in front, making him lean to make the catch. If he catches that in stride, he can crease that and have a good game.
You know, it's funny. Rutgers has done a better job this year of really getting Ray Rice involved in the pass game. He only had 12 catches his first 2 seasons, and this year alone, he's almost doubled that total with 23 receptions on the year so far, finding ways to get him the football. Mike Teal just needs to take a little bit more off that ball, hit him right in the face mask, let him get north.
2nd down and 10. Teal back, fakes a handoff to Rice, and again wants to go deep. And this one was tipped into double coverage. It was intended for Tim Brown, but Marcus McClure got his hand on the ball, but again it was into double coverage.
You know, you're looking for chances for interceptions there. They came up with one. They had an opportunity there. You got to come away with that, because Rutgers can still convert and move the footballs. And like Coach Hoke was saying, he needs those big plays on defense. The negative plays and the interceptions, turnovers.
They're 4 of 4 on 3rd down conversions thus far this game. This is the longest attempt of those 3rd down conversions. Teal back into the shotgun. Oh, and in a crowd, the ball gets tipped and very nearly intercepted. I mean, Teal looked like he was throwing out of a phone booth. Derola got his hands on the ball.
There's really only been 2 situations in today's game so far that Ball State has been able to really get back and get good pressure on Mike Teal. One was the early interception to Trey Lewis, and this was the 2nd time. Coming up big on a 3rd down, moving guys around, creating confusion up front, but really a great push by the very undersized Ball State defensive line.
So 53-yard field goal attempt by Ito. He's got the strong enough leg to get there, and just sneaks it over the bar. I mean, by inches.
That's 53 yards.
Yeah, well,
that's a great kick, and that's why you got to come up with those interceptions. Both times the ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage, had an opportunity for an interception. The deep post route had an opportunity to keep those points off the board. And Zito just lets it. See the laces?
Laces out. And there's a reason this guy is the Big East all-time leader career and field goals made. That just squeaks over the bar. If this was the CFL, Doug, you know, that goalpost would be in the front of the end zone.
That would be good by 10 yards.
10 yards, no problem. Trying to make this game harder, the Americans, all the time. Just trying to make it more
move those goalposts. We used to run pick plays around the goalpost because they were on the goal line.
I had more touchdowns fall incomplete because of the goalpost getting in the way in high school.
I had a crucial ball fall incomplete because of a goalpost that would have been intercepted in the playoff game. Thank you, left upright.
That was a season-long field goal for Ito, who is the all-time leading scorer in Rutgers history. First in field goals made, 80, and you see his field goal percentage, 72%, 3rd best in school history. And they call the judge.
Judge Ito, I get it.
Rutgers kicking off again. Ito really got his leg into this one. Wow. Sends it through the end zone. He's still jacked up from that 53-yard field goal.
When you're feeling it, man, it's got that juice. It's nice.
Let's check in with Stacy.
Well, John, I'm down here on the Ball State sideline, and things were heating up after Ball State settled for that last field goal several minutes ago. Wide receiver Dante Love approached the bench. He exchanged some heated words with offensive lineman Robert Brewster. And then, as that happened, guys, wide receivers coach Jeff Klinski gathered everybody around, the entire offense, and he said, if you're going to fall apart now, we're going to fall apart now. Do not change who you are. Guys, we'll see if they're inspired.
Well, they're going to have to be, Stacy, because Rutgers seems to be scoring every time they get the ball practically. And that ball's batted down. Davis, LaFedge got to it.
Again, Schiano's starting to bring all his blitzes, all his zone blitzes. They're bringing them off the edge. They're bringing them up the middle. He's got them all, and they're going to confuse this Ball State offensive line.
And really, what Ball State wants to do on offense is they want to set up play action, and they want to push the football far downfield. They want to get the vertical game going. But because Greg Schiano's defense right now has their ears pinned back, we've seen this now 2 series, they're just getting so much pressure right now on Nate Davis, making it very, very difficult for them to get anything established further than 10 yards downfield.
He's 7 of 12 for 60 yards, but again, having a tough time. Now he's going to take off and run with it. Cuts it to the inside again, and will get a first down. And then some. 17 yards on the scamper by Nate Davis.
We had talked about running the football early and how important it was for Ball State to try to get that established, not be one-dimensional in this football game. Rutgers defense heading into today's game is 6-0 when they hold their opponent to under 150 yards on the ground. So Ball State at some point, before this score gets out of whack, they have to start running the football.
Davis again fakes underneath. Now he's in all kinds of trouble. Throws it towards the sidelines.
And that was a great effort just to get an incomplete pass out of the play. He's not the fastest guy in the world. He's a phenomenal athlete, a great basketball player back in high school, scored like 40 a game, lights it up. He's a gym rat. He's a great athlete, but not exceptionally fast. He ran for the first down. He uses his legs very well.
He does, but every quarterback, especially guys like Nate Davis, are so much more lethal when they can stand in the pocket and deliver throws. When you're having to run for your life back there, I don't care who you are, your efficiency goes way down.
I'll tell you, and this guy can throw the deep ball as well as anyone.
And Brady Hope told us he averaged 40 a game. We got it reverse here. Whoop, dancing around in the backfield. Love finally finds his way up at the first down marker.
You didn't know it was supposed to be a double reverse, did you?
No.
They ran the reverse out to the left. This is pure Dante Love. I mean, he's an exceptional athlete in the open field.
Yeah, and again, it's finding ways to get him the football. If you're lining him up in the backfield, or you're lining him out at split end, giving him the double reverse. And right here, I thought this play was dead. It was too much east-west running, but you just see the pure speed of Dante Love, his ability to get outside and just make something positive out of really what should have been a negative play.
It was funny to see Brandon Renkart just chase him behind the line of scrimmage, one side of the field to the other.
You ran almost 80 yards there to gain only a few. That's a long way for defense.
Shotgun again. Plenty of time. Bad toss, high toss. Davis was looking for Johnson, but tossed it well beyond his reach.
Again, he's standing there nice and flat-footed, under control, and he tries to turn this one loose a little too much. He really tried to gun this one in there where he could have feathered it to him. Watch him stand, survey the field, feet under him, nice, even balance, step and throw, and then he turned it loose and the ball sailed on him at the last second.
Well, those are the type of throws that Nate Davis makes in his sleep, and you saw him at the end of that play pat his chest, looking at Lewis Johnson, saying, my bad, I got to hit you on that one. Those are throws, as we've been watching tape, he hits those all day long.
Well, you love the quarterback that says my bad as opposed to pointing to the receiver and blaming him. You ran the wrong route. You went the wrong way. I threw it where you're supposed to be. Quick toss across the middle, and again, Rutgers doing a nice job getting their hands up on the ball. Knocks another pass down at the line of scrimmage.
That's a nice job by Brandon Renkart getting his hands up and deflecting that football. That was man-to-man coverage. They had Dante Love running a crossing route. And if Renkart doesn't hit this football, that's in the hands of Love, and he's got room to run. You've already seen his speed. That could have been a very, very big play for Ball State offensively.
Saw Alex Silvestro looping and the stunt coming from around the line, putting pressure in the face of the quarterback. It just makes it more difficult to complete those passes, and Renkart obviously got in the passing lane and knocked it down.
Now another long third down for Ball State.
3rd and 10. Davis steps up, starts out of a tackle. He's going to get a first down and then go inside the 30-yard line.
There's that athleticism, Doug, you were talking about. His ability, he wants to scramble to throw, but if he's forced to run, he can get those yards.
They run the same exact stunt. Silvestro loops around, comes up the middle, pressure. It's a 5 to 6 man rush, and he steps up through that, which is difficult. A lot of times you see a quarterback scramble because it's coverage and there's a 4-man rush. 6 guys rushing. There aren't a lot of lanes to get through there, and he's a good enough athlete to step out of it.
He's got that great internal clock also. You know, he looks downfield, he gives it a chance, and he knows when to tuck it and go.
Eric Foster very nearly had him by the shoelaces.
Missed it by that much.
And he just stepped out. Rutgers has called a timeout. They look to avoid Ball State getting back higher on the board. 17-3 Rutgers.
Hi, I'm Jason Taylor, defensive end for the Miami Dolphins and a proud supporter of the ASPCA. And this is Bear. Nothing compares to the love and loyalty of a pet. This guy's a really big part of my team. That's why I can't sit on the sidelines knowing that every day innocent animals are abused, beaten, and neglected. Today, we need you to get in the game. So come on, join the team and help the ASPCA put an end to animal cruelty. Visit fightcruelty.org.
If you think there's no big news in battery technology, consider this. Now you can take up to 5,000 pictures over the life of 2 batteries. New Duracell rechargeables. They're rechargeables reinvented. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
If you want to quit smoking, think mint. Commit mint lozenges. Commit tastes great, works fast, and calms cravings even after the lozenge is gone.
They came in an instant. They destroyed everything. My people. My friends. My home. All I have left is vengeance.
Unreal Tournament 3. Rated M for mature.
PlayStation 3, starting at $399.
For 60 yards, but his last 6 passes have been incomplete.
Well, that's because of the pressure he's getting. He's getting a lot of guys in his face. He's using his legs a little bit to move, but it's the stunning and moving. The common thread are people stunning and looping. There, Foster coming up with a sack. Again, a pressure. Renkart coming up the middle. Renkart bats a pass in a moment here. They just keep getting in his face, staying in the passing lane, looping and moving, giving the offensive line fits.
But his legs have been able to get him a couple of first downs and a lot of distance, so they're inside the 30 right now. Rolls out to his right again. Immediately has Rutgers players all over him. Dancing and runs right into one of his linemen before Munoz brings him down.
Boy, Darius Hill was running the backside in route, and Davis saw him, but he just couldn't get in the position to set his feet to make the throw. Too much pressure. That's when he moves out to the right and looks backside. Now he's got people in his face. He can't make the throw. Here he's going to get away.
It's a center, Dan Gerberry, making the tackle.
Thanks, Dan. Get out of the gun. And again, under pressure, he's going to run it. Just takes it back to the line of scrimmage. Gain of 4.
Well, really right now, Ball State isn't getting anything downfield. Receivers aren't able to get open. And offensive coordinator Stan Parrish is trying to move the pocket around the field so that this Rutgers pass rush just can't tee off on Nate Davis. But no matter where he's setting up, behind the line of scrimmage, on the run, play action, this Rutgers defense right now is playing with a lot of passion, a lot of excitement. They're just playing faster, and it's obvious when you watch it on the field.
2 of 5 on third down conversions, and this one again, a full 10 yards. Davis has a man in the end zone, and there's flag tossed. It's going to be pass interference. Geralt was back there. Darius Hill, it was intended for him.
Well, you got a big 6'6" target in the end zone. Lay that sucker up and let him go get it. Looked like Davis was having an opportunity to maybe run for first down, but went for the home run instead.
It just really shows nice composure by him to try to give his guy a chance to score.
Pass interference. Number 43 of the defense. 15 yards. First down.
Well, you're likely to get those type of calls or make a play when you've got a guy that's 6'6". It's tough to defend him.
It's tough as a quarterback, you know, when you've been scrambling all series long, running for your life, your eye level tends to come down. You don't see the opportunities downfield. And Doug, you mentioned it. It looked as though on that play, Nate Davis was actually going to run for the first. He got his eyes downfield, gave his big 6'6" target a chance in the end zone, and now converts for a nice big first down inside the red zone.
Clancy in the backfield behind Davis. And he's going to take the handoff and be cut down immediately.
You got to run the ball once in a while just for the fun of it to keep that defensive line off balance.
Try to keep somebody honest right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Nate Davis doesn't start using and mixing up the snap count right now, because it looks as though Rutgers really is just teeing off. You see the numbers right now. No rushing yards in the first quarter. He got 51 in the second. The majority of that, though, has come from Nate Davis. You got to do something. You have to be two-dimensional if you're going to beat this team. We'll say it again and again. I hate to beat the dead horse, but this Rutgers defense, they're pretty good.
Ball State over the season, 29 touchdowns and 51 trips into the red zone. Again, that calm toss inside the 10-yard line down to about the 6 to Dante Love.
You like that nonchalant little, he's just standing there giving the ball. Just a little flick of the wrist. You know, this is a simple little under route that he gives it to him for a 5-yard gain, but it can be a big play with Dante Love on the other end.
Yeah, Dante Love just does a nice job setting up Devin McCourty, the cornerback. Just gives him a little move to the outside, buy himself the space, and give the quarterback a nice target to deliver him the football over the middle of the field.
Completed the pass, John.
First completion this quarter. Clancy and Edmonds both in the backfield. Davis fakes a handoff, now looks to the end zone, has a strike down to the 1, but it's broken up. It was intended for if. But just throwing a little underneath.
Yeah, he put it in a safe spot, a little low and away. If could have made the play, or maybe even should have made the catch. And now it turns into a 4th down field goal attempt.
Well, it was a nice job by Nate Davis getting through his progressions. Daniel Ift is actually his 3rd option on this play. You see how he gets his feet set? Ball a little bit down and away, but Doug, you nailed it right on the head. That's the only place that that ball can be caught. Very tight coverage. That was actually a nice throw by Nate Davis.
24-yard attempt. Garvey bangs it through. So Ball State has their 2nd field goal of the game and have pulled within 11 of Rutgers.
No one comes into our house and pushes us around. Whose house is this? Mucus's house!
When mucus huddles in your chest, the congestion doesn't quit.
Whose house? Mucus's house!
That's why there's Mucinex. Mucinex is specially made to break up mucus that causes congestion.
Not now! It's a blowout!
And only Mucinex lasts for 12 hours.
Can we play at your house?
Mucinex in, mucus out.
Spare Thoughts with Pete Weber, professional bowler.
You know, people always ask me, Pete, why do you wear sunglasses when you bowl? Hey, I don't ask you why you wear an ugly tie and wrinkled khakis to work, do I? That's just how I roll.
The Denny's PBA Tour ConstructionJobs.com Championship. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
What's up, man? Hey, dude.
Having a place to store perishable food items. Priority number 43. Having a place to store perishable anatomy class items? Priority number 1.
Sorry, man.
Get the money you need with a Monticello student loan. Use it for education-related expenses. And the best part is, you can pay it back after you graduate. When savings, scholarships, and federal loans aren't enough, it's the smart way to borrow. Apply with a cosigner and you could get a better rate. Monticello Student Loans, when education is priority number 1. Call 888-727-2926 or log on to 30monticelloloans.com.
Well, when you look at the CN Tower, you know you can only be one place, and that is Toronto. And that's, I mean, you can see Buffalo. If you go up there, Buffalo is on the other side of Lake Ontario. On a clear day, if you're up on the CN Tower, you can see Buffalo.
Even you?
Well,
with those eyes?
Probably not.
Okay.
I may need binoculars, you know.
All right.
Sean Saunders, Doug Flutie, and Jesse Palmer as we're here for the International Bowl. And again, Rutgers just seems to be a lot faster.
Yeah, they are. Greg Schiano's done a fantastic job with this Rutgers team and getting this program to where it is that they have phenomenal athletes out on the football field.
Robinson with it. Season opening. Cuts it over the 35-yard line.
It just seems right now, offensively, up to this point in the football game, Rutgers has basically just been able to do whatever they've wanted, whether it's running the football with Ray Rice, taking advantage of their wide receiver targets downfield. And we talked about Kenny Brett and Tyquan Underwood, but Tim Brown has had a real big impact so far in this game. And Mike Teal has had a lot of time for the most part tonight. He's had a lot of time to set up, get good vision downfield to deliver the football.
Well, it's nice when you have a number 27 to rely on as well.
That helps.
Oh, a little pitch back from Rice to Teal, and has his man open in the middle. That one to Kenny Britt.
All right, I got a feeling we got a lot of more of that coming. We got a lot of more. You know, Greg Schiano, it's a bowl game. He's had time to prepare. He's going to throw in a few wrinkles. It's national TV. Sure enough, nice job by Ray Rice, being patient, getting it back to Teal. Stuck, yeah, it's a little boring for, you know, you want a touchdown out of that play.
He wanted Tyquan Underwood on the big post, but defense played the big zone. He took what he had, hit Kenny Britt across the field on the crossing. Nice job.
That's boring. Come on, throw it deep.
Morales up there in front of Rice. And Rice gets the handoff, pulls his way for a few yards.
They go an 8-man front, they go corner blitz, they have 9 guys committed to the run, and it's what? 4 to 5 yard gain. Okay, maybe 3.
You know why in the end, it's like the old saying goes, you know why? It's not about the X's and the O's, it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. You could have that thing scoped out. Look at the
Jimmies
right
and the Joes.
and the right tackle.
Jimmies and the Joes.
Jimmy, there's no Jimmies.
It's about the guys on the field and their ability. They're just beating
I'm looking
the defensive.
I don't have
right
any
now.
Jimmies.
Okay, the Zudas and the Davises.
Teal with a quick handoff. And again, fighting his way for yardage. Very, very difficult to get that 4 is Ray Rice.
That's not like Ray Rice there. That's the little hop and skip and move and jump and weave your way through there. We're like used to seeing him do the power stuff and lowering the shoulder and running over people with those thighs.
It reminds you of the Frank Royals day when he used to work with Keith Jackson. He'd say, Keith, look at the size of the thighs on Theodis Lee. They're huge. Frank Broyles, longtime coach at Arkansas and AD. Rutgers 4 of 5 on 3rd down conversions. Not this time. Great job by Ball State to gang tackle. Perry was there first, but just about everybody on the defensive line was able to get in there.
Well, Ball State on this play just really keying in the backfield against the run, getting great pressure. They bring secondary pressure and they blitz right into the middle of the run. No room to go there for Ray Rice. That's probably the only time so far we've seen that line stymied in the run game.
Burke coming off the corner, linebackers coming up the middle, defensive line. I think they had 9 guys again committed to the run.
It's nice when your place kicker is your punter too. At least for him.
You save locker room space?
No, I'm thinking about his future. Hey, Coach, I can do it all.
Their first.
Timeout.
Well, Doug, you mentioned earlier, Coach Schiano not afraid to use trickeration so far in this football game. You wonder, considering where the ball is spotted,
bingo,
this Ball State defense just wants to make sure they're not going to see something tricky here from the Rutgers and their head coach.
Come back in a moment.
Before there was a United States, a college was founded in the heart of New Jersey. Before there were bowl games, the first college football game was played at Rutgers. Before there were cures for tuberculosis, Rutgers scientists discovered the breakthrough antibiotic. Before the Supreme Court's landmark ruling, a Rutgers alumna helped make the case for desegregation. Before the world changes again, Rutgers will be working on it. Rutgers, Jersey roots, global reach.
This is a place where classrooms become laboratories, where students take on tough projects like creating the first ever interactive news broadcast. We push the limits.
We shot, wrote, and aired it all live in one day, because that's the real world.
And immersing yourself in it teaches you to see
things differently. Like being in South Asia, practicing architecture and planning, it gave me a whole new perspective on my future and myself.
This is a different kind of university. Ball State, education redefined.
Ito back to punt. So we looked at a lot of people making the trip from Indiana and from New Jersey. Here's to Toronto. It's a bit chilly here this week. B.J. Hill back to receive the kick from Ito. This is the first punt of the game. And he just kind of angles it. That's going to be about it. I think he wanted to angle it out of bounds, but couldn't get it there. It's Roy Halladay on the side of the Rogers Center. Former Cy Young winner for the Toronto Blue Jays. Right now, let's check in with Scott Reese.
All right, John, coming up on the Flomex halftime report, we'll look back on what has been a wild and wacky bowl season. We look ahead to Wild Card Saturday in the National Football League and a couple of college basketball unbeatens in action. We will check in on Kansas and Memphis. It's all just a couple of minutes from now, the Flomex halftime report. John?
All right, Scott, thanks a lot. We'll get to you in a moment. Ball State on the season, they average 147 yards rushing. They got 51 today. 284 passing. They have 67 today. Davis again sacked as he just is not getting enough time to get to the ball. It was Eric Foster with his 6th sack of the year.
Eric Foster just beat you like a drum. I mean, he is a leader on this defensive front. He's a leader of this whole defense. He's a hard worker. He's an intense guy. We sat with him back in the middle of the season and talked with Eric for a while, and boy, he's getting the young guys on the chop is their phrase, you know, chopping wood and all that. And he's got all the young guys on the bandwagon and rolling, and he is the leader of that defensive front.
And he's playing against a true freshman in Michael Switzer.
And again, Rutgers looking to ball. We talked to Greg Schiano this week, and one of the most impressive things that he talked about with me is basically after a game watching the tape and looking for the slackers, looking for the guys who aren't running to the football.
He calls it the losses,
yes.
The lack of swarm.
Yeah.
He says he expects there to be about 5.5 to 6 losses a game. If there are any more than that, then he feels that it's the individual player's conscious choice not to chase after the football, and that's when he gets angry. He's looking for about 5.5 to 6 lack of swarms a game. There doesn't seem to be that many so far from Rutgers today, though.
The eye in the sky is always watching.
So
you can't get away with anything.
Stacy, more on the losses?
Well, yeah, there's losses, guys, but it's all predicated upon the swarm, which you guys mentioned. It's what he really identifies his program with now, his defense with. It's called the swarm defense, guys, and he knows he doesn't have a lot of size at Rutgers. He's recruiting more, but he's got speed. So the objective is to get to the ball, but if you don't get to the ball, you're losing.
And you do not want to be pointed out in the film room.
I did a lot of that after the handoffs. turn around and watch, get yelled at.
Davis in his own end zone. Chased out. Got to avoid the safety. Tosses it away. Very nearly brought down in the end zone on a long 3rd down and 14.
Well, Jamal Westerman on that play, the rush end for Rutgers, just relentless. He's able to pursue Nate Davis all the way to the sideline. You're going to see they just want to set up deep in the pocket. This is standard 5-step drop. It just too much push up the middle. There's Jamal Westerland from Brampton, Ontario, John. Yet another Canadian.
Exactly.
Leads the team in sacks, leads them in tackles for loss, making his impact felt here at home.
3 Canadians on the Rutgers roster. Robinson back to field the punt. Chased over by the 50-yard line, which takes a huge Rutgers pounce. College football bowl season continues on ESPN Sunday night with the GMAC Bowl as Tyler Sheehan and the Bowling Green Falcons take on Paul Smith and the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. GMAC Bowl on ESPN Sunday at 8 Eastern. For more, log on to ESPN.com. And of course, Paul Smith has thrown for over 300 yards in 13 straight games. That ties an NCAA record.
He runs a spread offense. He moves around a little bit. He's just a great coordinator of that offense.
So great field position thanks to the old bounce back on the punt.
See that English on that chip shot?
It was perfect.
Back that thing up.
Hand off to Rice. Rice pushed back. Gained a couple of yards.
Well, Ray Rice has really had his way today, whether it's been running to the left side, running to the right side, or right up the middle. He's getting behind those big offensive linemen, Pedro Sosa, Anthony Davis, Jeremy Zutaw, clearing away for him. We've seen his patience, we've seen his vision and his cutback ability, and he seems to always get north. 16 carries so far today, 78 yards already for the tremendous running back, Ray Rice.
You sold him short. He's got 79.
Don't take that yard away if you're going to get that 200.
That's right. That's right. I'm on the line for 200.
Teal, the pocket closing down. Safety valve, jumps it off to Ray Rice. Rice showing that he can catch the ball as well. 8 yards on the pickup, but here's a look at the numbers for Ray Rice. Again, this is in 3 years, folks. First in carries, first in yards, first in touchdowns, second in points.
Going into today, if he were to come back next year, he would only need 1,700 to break Ron Dayne's all-time NCAA record. So he's, added what, 79 yards today, and then next year if he were to come back. Now that's
Kevin Smith might still be coming back. Darren McFadden, those guys could still be coming back too. But you wonder if that's a conversation Greg Schiano will have with Ray Rice this offseason, because you have to imagine he's going to get an opportunity to play in the National Football League. There's no question. He's accomplished so much already while at Rutgers, but he said he'd have that conversation with his head coach once this game was over, get a chance to weigh out his options before going on and playing on Sunday.
There are a lot of issues that go into that. Family, the money. With the number of carries he averages 31 carries a game. He takes a beating. And that extra year, that can cut a year or two off your career at the end of the line.
It's funny, Greg Schiano said certainly there are millions of dollars waiting for him at the next level. But he said, look at it on the other side. It's not so bad walking around campus of Rutgers being Ray Rice.
Just one more year.
It must be nice.
Yeah, but you know what? He can be in the NFL and still do that.
Walk around the campus of Rutgers
and beat Ray Rice.
Ron Dayne was from Berlin, New Jersey as well, right down the street from Rutgers.
That's right.
Great. New Jersey is a great fertile recruiting ground, and that's what Greg Schiano has done a great job of keeping these players home.
You look on the roster, it's all Jersey kids, some New York kids. He's from New Rochelle, Ray Rice is, and then a handful of the athletes out of Florida.
And all of those Jersey athletes were heading to the Midwest, down to Florida. Look at Rice, look at his speed. Down to the 5-yard line.
He didn't get in the end zone. What's the matter?
But I mean, the hole was there. and he just burst through it 22 yards.
Greg Schiano said that Ray Rice reminds him a lot of Emmitt Smith. He doesn't necessarily have that game-breaking speed where when he gets in the open field, he's absolutely gone, but he said he's fast enough and quick enough to score points and get in the end zone. And you see it, Doug, right here on this example, just the vision, the foot quickness.
You can't reach out and grab him in the upper body and expect to be bringing him down. And the Ball State coaches were saying, go after his legs. Bring him down. He goes down pretty easily when you wrap up his legs. He doesn't like you around his legs. Keep going after. You got to get close enough, first of all, to go after him.
You do, and easier said than done. Try grabbing that guy around the waist and around the legs.
Because his thighs are huge.
Right on cue.
Eighth straight game over 100 yards. He's got 105. That's a school record.
Broke his own record. That was his second 7-game consecutive 100-yard rushing streak. Now at 8 games, holds another. That's his 10th school record. That's pretty good. Nice career. And he still has another year left if he wants it.
Well, that record that's a pretty tempting record to go.
It really is. And it's definitely within reach. You add the numbers from today going into next year, it's a legitimate season that he could get there.
Well, he's the only running back in Big East history to run for more than 1,500 yards in consecutive seasons. There's no reason to think he couldn't do it again next year.
Rice pounds his way down inside the 2-yard line. And when Ricky Williams set that record, he only held it for a year before Ron Dane broke it. It was such a big deal, and then Ron Dane came back and just busted it. Oh, just cut back by Rice into the end zone for his second touchdown of the game.
You know, it all starts up front. You got the 3 seniors in Sosa, Blazek, and Zuda, and Davis at right guard. Shoot, he's a freshman that's going to be a stud for 4 years. It's not fair. It's not fair, Keith.
And just great running backs just seem to have a way when they get near the goal line. He's got that great body lean. He's falling forward. He's always getting north. He's never losing yards.
Getting north while moving laterally as well.
That's right.
That's how he got to Toronto. But this whole program has started with this recruiting class, these seniors up front, Ray Rice in the backfield, Mike Teal at quarterback. They've got this great run going, and this is the class. This senior class is the class that has gotten them to the bowl games.
Well, you get great push up front blocking, and it's just Ray Rice in the backfield, the counter step. You see him just the way he's able to fall forward. It's a zone blocking scheme. He's able to cut off the backside of the offensive line. And John, you mentioned it, just falling forward while still moving laterally. It's pretty impressive. Again, there you see the vision, his ability to stay low, and sneak into the end zone.
And the Rutgers marching band serenades the Rogers Center. And in the long history of this bowl, no one has rushed for more yards than Ray Rice. 110 yards rushing in this bowl.
In 1.5 years.
In this bowl's history.
in 6 quarters of football.
Quarters.
Not quite 6 quarters of football.
Just think, you guys have called every international bowl ever.
We have. We've been there for everyone.
Every minute.
Every minute.
Tenured.
But this is going to be here to stay, I think, John. This is a good bowl. It's growing.
It's growing. It's getting nice crowds. Teams are willing to travel up here to Canada. It's a great city to come and visit.
One of the great cities in the world. It really is. Cosmopolitan, outstanding, and a football town, too.
Yes.
They love their football.
Go Argos.
A little squib. Picked up by Dante Love. Out of the pack. There's showing the speed again. Finally hauled down just shy of the 50-yard line. 33 yards on the carry. Devin Smart with the tackle. Rutgers Bowl history, well, there's not a lot to it, really. 78, the Garden State Bowl. 2005 Insight Bowl and the 2006 Texas Bowl. As a matter of fact, their last 3 bowl games played indoors. Because the one in Phoenix was indoors, of course, retractable dome. One in Texas was in Houston, retractable dome. And now here with a retractable dome.
And the quarterback wears gloves because they're indoors. It's not cold. What's up with that?
Ball State's going to need to get some offense going here. Nice cut around after the catch, trying to gain some extra yards as Dante Love gets out of bounds with 22 seconds remaining.
Scored a touchdown with 40 seconds left in the half. The kickoff return sets up Ball State with an opportunity to be aggressive and go after and try to score points. Again, sitting in the pocket, nice patience. He did have time to throw the ball.
This is what this offense is built to do, is get the ball downfield. So you're right, Doug. You give this team the ball at midfield. They don't need a lot of time to score. You're absolutely right. We talk about the quick strike offense of Rutgers. Ball State is just as susceptible to scoring points quickly as well, if Nate Davis gets time. That's the key.
Time to throw the ball. Just give him a chance.
Ball State also has 2 timeouts remaining. Shotgun again. Davis. Oh, pass very, very nearly caught. Lewis Johnson went right through his hands. Courtney Green was there on the coverage.
Johnson's a long, lanky type body, too, that goes up. He makes a lot of these acrobatic catches, diving, laying out for the ball. Just misses on this one, just a touch out in front.
They're taking risks right now, trying to get the football downfield. That's one of those throws as a quarterback, Doug. You let that ball go, you know what probably is going to happen. You see Courtney Green, the safety, bearing down.
It's like, get down, get down.
Catch it and get down.
Davis again. Try and get Ball State into the end zone for the first time. Rolls out to his left. He's going to eat up a lot of time and gets sacked by George Johnson. 5th sack today for Rutgers. And Ball State's going to have to call a timeout.
Ball State was trying to set up a screen pass there, and Westerman just read it perfectly, grabbed the tailback, wouldn't allow him out in the route, so Davis was forced to just hang on to the ball and run around the edge.
Well, he had to hold on to it because his offensive linemen were already 15 to 20 yards downfield, so he really had no choice. The only place he was going to go was out of bounds on the ground with that football.
Well, there you go. That tells a lot of the story today. It just shows the mismatch up front. 5 sacks for Rutgers, none for Ball State. They can't get near Teal, and Ball State can't run the ball either.
It's those homemade blitzes you were talking about earlier, Doug, from Greg Schiano. He blitzes you, and he repeat blitzes you. He brings them from all over the yard.
He does repeat it. He ran the same exact stunt at least twice in a row. It looked like 3 times.
If it works once, he's not afraid to go back to it again. Until you prove to him that you can block it, you're going to see a boatload of it the rest of the game.
2 games this year that Rutgers defense has had 10 sacks, so they're halfway there now with a half of football to play. Davis has his man, Love. Gets him down to the 15-yard line, 16 yards on the pickup. And the final timeout will be called by Ball State as they'll settle for a field goal.
You know, and a field goal, it's good. And you got to get points out of these drives. But you got to consider that Rutgers is just moving the ball with the ease that they are. You got to start scoring touchdowns, and it's easier said than done with only 40 seconds in the half.
Well, on that one, you saw it initially, a nice pocket being formed for the quarterback, Davis. So it was a situation where Rutgers was sitting back a little bit, last play of the half in their mind defensively. Let's not give up a touchdown, and all of a sudden you don't put any pressure on him. Nate Davis stands there, delivers a strike, gets him in field goal range or comfortable field goal range.
Well, nothing's a given is basically what you're saying, right? With kickers. I know how you guys feel. Sometimes teams make the kicker have his own locker room.
Doug and I were never a part of those teams.
McGarvey. A 32-yard attempt. Kick is up. And it's good.
And we'll keep the kicker for another day.
So McGarvey 3 of 3 for all 9 points for Coach Hoke. Right now, let's check in with Stacey Dales with Coach Greg Schiano.
Coach Shiano, what's your reflection of holding Ball State to field goals thus far?
Well, anytime you can do that, it's going to help you defensively. Where we need to be better is in the kicking game. I mean, we gave them field position twice in the kicking game, and you can't do that against a good team like this. And, you know, one turnover, but the kicking game's hurting.
Ray Rice, a new school record for touchdowns. Your reflections on his productivity?
Well, he's a great back, and that's all there is to it. And, you know, there'll be more records.
All right, thanks, Coach. John.
Stacy, thanks a lot. The halftime score 24-9. Right now, let's join Scott Reese for the Flomax halftime report.
Okay, John.
CN Tower hovering over Toronto, and this is a football crazy town. They love their Argonauts, and they have fought for years and years to get a bowl game here in Toronto, and they have done just that with the International Bowl. This year, Rutgers against Ball State, the second annual. We were talking about, we hope it will be the second of many, many more to come, because they travel teams here, but locally the fans are going to embrace this as well. John Saunders, Doug Flutie, and Jesse Palmer. One thing that they have not been able to embrace when you talk about Ball State, that's Ray Rice.
Well, Ray Rice is a physical runner, and it's a physical offensive line for Rutgers that has taken control of this ball game throughout the first half. Rice is already around the 100-yard mark and just powering the football. They're protecting the quarterback as well, and it's big plays in the running game.
Well, it's been a Ray Rice showcase all over the field offensively. He's rushed for 112 yards in this first half, and because of his success on the ground, that's given Mike Teal and the wide receivers an opportunity to make big plays down the field in the passing game. But it all starts and operates around the running game in Ray Rice.
You mentioned that Ray Rice would likely get 200 yards in this game. He's well on his way to that. But the other side of the story is there's just too much pressure on the offense of Ball State.
You know, Nate Davis is a great quarterback. He makes plays with his legs. He moves around, buys time. But it's hard to buy time when you got 5-6 man rush and people getting in your face. Eric Foster making the sack there. Rencard getting in his face. Rutgers is bringing blitzes from every direction, outside, inside, pressure on the quarterback. And he's made plays with his legs. He's gotten out of the pocket and run for some first down.
There's a reason that Rutgers has the second-ranked pass defense in all of college football. And when you'd hear that, you'd say, oh, well, their secondary is able to cover guys. The reason they're so effective is because they can get that pressure on the quarterback and force opposing quarterbacks into making bad decisions.
Ito will kick off, as Rutgers actually won the toss in the first half and elected to take the ball, and they went right down and scored, so good decision. Dante Love fields it at his 5, across the 20, and quickly Rutgers is there to shut things down at about the 23-yard line. Let's check in with Stacy.
Well, John, I just caught up with Ball State head coach Brady Hoke, and I asked him about his offense. How do you guys find the end zone? And you guys just talked about this. He says we have to protect the quarterback better. He's running for a life just a little more than I'd like right now. He wants to convert some passes. And Doug and Jesse, you can appreciate this. Those receivers have to catch those balls. He said we've had some missed opportunities with catches. Defensively, guys, he's very pleased. He said we're being aggressive, but he reminded his players, do not give up the big play.
Don't give up the big play, but they could sure use a big play. Nate Davis here has some time. Toss. It might be an interference flag on that. The tackle was made before the pass was even there. Courtney Green on a coverage getting called for pass interference. The pass intended for Darius Hill.
When your quarterback has people in his face all day and he moves around and makes some plays and you get an opportunity to make the play, come down with the football. Stacy was mentioning the drop passes. If you've got an opportunity, you got to make some plays if you're Ball State.
Well, I like the play call coming right out of the gate, trying to hit the big 6'6" target downfield.
Pass interference, number 36 of the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
You know, and that play is very obvious. Every referee on the field, Doug, John, we were all throwing flags out onto the football field from up here. Just Courtney Green just draped all over the bigger Darius Hill, trying to get a corner out. I like the play call. Get aggressive, get downfield right away. You see Courtney Green just smothering the big tight end down the field.
Last time I checked, you couldn't tackle the guy before he got the ball.
It's not hockey, Ken. Can't do that in hockey either. Not allowed to.
Not supposed to. Good. Rutgers very, very quick to cut down Dante Love.
Now, the last game of the regular season for Rutgers, they went up against Louisville.
Oh, boy.
They were dominating in the first half. It looked ridiculous. It looked like Louisville didn't want to play. Just before half, Louisville went down and scored in a quick drive, like a one-play burst, 17-second drive, whatever it was. Second half, Louisville came out and dominated. They got Cardinals on their helmets.
Ah, good point.
The common denominator,
That's
Doug.
what
I love
it is.
Point.
They were up 18 points in the third quarter of that football game, lost. You're right. Ball State only down 2 possessions.
Davis. This is good. That's going to be good for a first down. Grant hauls it in. Medeiros Grant.
And it's amazing to consider in that first half of football, you'd watch this and say, well, this game has been completely one-sided. Rutgers has had their way offensively and defensively. Ball State, though, only down 2 possessions. You see here again, getting outside on the play action, moving the pocket around, finding his second tight end, Medeiros Grant. He's a big target himself, 6'5", 228. These guys got some nice targets on this Ball State offense, don't they, Doug?
Tall receivers, you gotta love him. He's never covered. Well, we have an opportunity to make the play.
Good attitude.
Everybody's open.
Everybody.
The handoff.
He's not open.
Underneath to Clancy. No. And he makes it back to the line of scrimmage. They have had no success running the football.
Their best running plays today so far has come from Nate Davis, just creating himself. And they found ways to get Dante Love involved as well on reverse type plays and running him out of the backfield. But they got to get something just more structural, just with the running back in the backfield, and just at least impose a little bit of their will on this Rutgers defense.
Second and 10 is Ball State has been used to working on long distances on second and third down. Rolling out to his right. Davis absolutely blown up by Malice.
So you want to be a quarterback, huh?
Man, oh man. And it starts with Eric Foster getting pressure. He's been causing havoc the entire game in the backfield. He forces Nate Davis to just step up a little bit. And right there at the last second, Kevin Malice right in his, bam! Right in the grill.
One more time. You want to get hit again? Ah. But he does a great job of getting rid of the football. Becomes an incomplete pass. Keep you down in distance.
A costly incompletion if you're Nate Davis.
Yeah, one thing Ball State has done so far this half is, and an old coach of mine used to call it, multiple launch points. Change the launch point of where the quarterback is, whether he's out of the pocket, in the pocket, moving around, the play action, the bootleg. Don't let the defense know where he is.
They're trying to review this to figure out whether or not this is a fumble. His hand clearly looks like it's going forward, but they have him backed up.
They must have initially ruled this a fumble and marking the ball down on the 36-yard line. That's why the ball is there. We're looking for a flag. We're looking for something to try to figure out why the ball's all the way down there.
Or is it intentional ground?
That was the other thing, but I didn't see a flag.
But the ball went forward.
Right.
But they're marking the ball 10 to 15 yards upfield. There's no way you can rule this a fumble if they review it.
No, there's no way. The hand was easily moving forward.
And as far as intentional grounding, when you're getting hit and the ball's coming out, it's such a judgment of, did that hit affect where the ball went? Yeah. In other words, he may be set in the pocket and trying to launch one up the field. He gets hit in the back and the ball goes 3 yards off to the right. Since there was no receiver around, should that be intentional grounding? No.
Of course you're going to say that.
I'm talking to myself now.
I mean, like I said, again, I'm up here with 2 quarterbacks.
That's right.
And these guys, you know, they shouldn't be able to touch the quarterback.
Never wrong. The quarterback's never wrong. Nate Davis did the right thing.
Catch the ball, will you?
Catch the ball.
They never intentionally ground the ball. The sacks are always caused by the offensive line.
No, it's not intentional. You're trying to get away with it. I mean, if it was intentional, then it'd be obvious.
Tell you what, though, Rutgers defensively kind of picking up where they left off at the end of that first half with the continued pressure.
After review, the ruling on the field is changed to incomplete pass, 3rd down.
Yeah, I think there's a little question about this.
No, it's definitely an incomplete pass. The only question would have been intentional grounding because he was still within the tackle box area, even though he moved around.
He stepped up in it, but he was still between them.
Tell you what, right now, true freshman left guard for Ball State, Michael Switzer, has his hands full with first-team All-Big East Eric Foster. Eric Foster is eating his lunch all game long. Really, really having his way.
Not the same lunch we had.
No, not the same lunch we just had. That's right.
Ball State, again, just 3 of 8 on third down conversions. And they need the full 10 yards again here. Davis sends 2 guys out to the left. Lofts it long and deep. And possibly picked off unless they wave him out. Courtney Green was there.
Boy, Green was playing the half field there, saw the ball thrown, lined it up the whole way, just ran out of real estate. He knew he had this interception lined up from the get-go.
Courtney Green just shows a lot of range playing the free safety position, and this ball is just laid out down the left sideline, and all of a sudden, from out of your screen comes Courtney Green.
I think he actually mistimed it. He could have gotten there a little sooner and kept his feet in bounds. He was trying to judge it.
Those picks are hard to come by. He's only thrown 6 Nate Davis has all year long.
Robinson back there, fields it at his 5. There's a flag down. Probably a block in the back. We haven't had a lot of flags in this game.
Been a pretty clean game as far as that's concerned.
I tried to throw one early.
We'll work on that.
You had me throwing one early in the game. But that's all right.
We're just more lenient up here in Canada. It's a lenient system here.
That is very
Let things go. Let them play. We're used to watching hockey anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is only the 4th penalty of the whole game.
The Leafs are playing the Flyers tonight, just down the road at the Air Canada Center. The team I grew up rooting, unfortunately, is terrible now.
During the kick, illegal block in the back, number 47 of the receiving team. The penalty will be from the spot of the foul. First down.
It's like Rencart was trying to push Lewis past the returner during the punt. Got him in the back.
12:47 to go in the third here. Rutgers with the ball.
When you open a Samuel Adams lager and begin to pour it out, you get this beautiful amber color, and you put your nose in it, and you get the smell of flowers called hops.
We use noble hops. They are expensive, but it's a better quality ingredient for Boston Lager.
Most brewers have a dash of hops.
We use a pound of hops per barrel.
We add some caramel malt to that. Significant full flavor, but everything is there in balance.
The proof is in the taste.
I'm the biggest, baddest mucus.
There's a new sheriff in town to drive your toughest mucus out. New Maximum Strength Mucinex. One pill has the most mucus-fighting medicine to get rid of chest congestion for 12 hours. New Maximum Strength Mucinex in, mucus out.
He killed my son. The director of Saw. Ready? Unrated. Death sentence Tuesday.
Winter X Games just got crashed. Grab yourself some Totino's pizza rolls, get the crash code off the box, go online and get hooked up. VIP access, free music, killer videos, and the chance to crash next year's Winter X Games.
There are 380,000 NCAA student athletes. And most of us will go pro
in something other than sports.
In something other than sports. Go to ncaastudent.org to find out how.
Pond hockey is one of the great pastimes here in Canada, but look, here's the puck at the bottom, and take a look at where my guy's his head vision was, the vision to see across the ice, make the cross-ice center pass for the one-timer.
Gretzky denied.
It looked more like Flutie tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
The goalie poke checking.
Oh, yeah. Holy mackerel. Is that a typical Flyer fan there or not?
It's a big hockey game tonight,
yes.
guys.
Okay, you said it. I didn't. I was asking a question.
Just on the goal line, trying to get a little room, and Rice pounces it out across the 3 for about a 2-yard pickup.
How big would it be? Just get a 3 and out here for Ball State, get themselves on the positive side of the field to give themselves an opportunity to get back in this ball game.
They haven't had great field position in the game, but they also have not been able to convert because they haven't been able to run the ball at all. So Rutgers is just sitting back, waiting on the pass and putting the pressure on Davis. Teal again with the handoff.
You know, it's incredible to consider that the job that Greg Schiano has done with the program at Rutgers. When you consider that in the first 131 years of this program, they go to 1 bowl game, and in the 7 years he's been there, this is now their 3rd, and it's the 3rd in the row. And you look at those numbers from last season, the winning records, but 11-2 last year. Really setting the bar and the standards higher at Rutgers right now. And it's a place today where the kids want to go play there. It's become a mega program in the Northeast. Aside from Boston College,
of course. 3rd down and short. Hand off to Rice. Rice busts it on the outside, and now it's just a foot race. Rice powered as well. Wow. Should have been pushed out and then finally cut from behind, but not before he crosses the goal line for a touchdown. 90 yards. On the run.
You thought it was a foot race. The foot race didn't matter. That was one of the best stiff arms I've seen out in the open.
Eddie Burke had him not only on speed, but also on angle.
Upper body. He went for the upper body, go for the legs, wrap those legs up, and hope you can hang on. And I'm not 100% sure Rice actually got into the end zone.
Well, they're going to kick it. Make sure it's too late. Too late.
All right, he's officially in the end zone, Bad. My.
And as predicted by Doug Flutie, Ray Rice over 200 yards on the game. What a run. His 3rd of the game.
You hear car, and what comes to mind? Okay, that's not car. And it's not 2 tons of metal, glass, and rubber. Car. The reason you got your license in the first place. The way you felt about your first car. It makes a kid pick up a crayon. And toy companies make these out of one of these. Car is why we'll stop for a chase scene. Or go just to go. It's back seats and rear-wheel drive. Car is passion, emotion, and yes, even a little vanity. Because unlike other vehicles, car is all about you. And car is what makes a Pontiac a Pontiac. Whether it's the Solstice GXP, G6 GXP Coupe, or coming this spring, the first ever Pontiac G8 GT, the most powerful car under 30 grand.
If you want to quit smoking, think mint. Commit mint lozenges. Commit tastes great, works fast, and calms cravings even after the lozenge is gone.
Until now, guys who sweat a lot change their shirts a lot. Introducing Gillette Clinical Strength Antiperspirant. Prescription strength wetness protection for a lot more confidence.
There's something different about you.
Change your life, not your shirt.
On this last touchdown run, Chris Radanovic gets a great block, and then their right guard, Anthony Davis, gets a great pull and allows Ray Rice a clear path through. Great job of execution up front. As you see Anthony Davis just swallow the linebacker and allow Ray Rice to get into the second level. Show the speed to the outside, And then what a stiff arm on Eddie
Boy,
Burke.
stick him in the chest. Now he starts breaking up. Now he's like, I just want to get to that goal line. I want to get to that goal line. I still think his knee was down before he was in the end zone.
Well, you give the man the touchdown.
Oh, come on.
Longest play from scrimmage for Rutgers this year.
Look, the boy's mama called the boy Ray. I'm going to call the boy Ray.
Exactly.
Ray ran, boy.
And he's over 200 yards for the game. Ito's kick back to Dante Love. Love season opening briefly, but again swallowed up just over the 20-yard line. Let's go back and take another look at Ray Rice.
Underwood gets a great block on the play as well. The receiver pushing B.J. Hill down inside, and Rice bouncing outside. It's all three blocks. Everybody had their assignment. Everybody made a great block, and that's why you break long runs.
Teams that generally run the football well have receivers that get downfield and take care of their blocks in the second and third levels. And you just mentioned it right there. Tyquan Underwood really blocked 2 players by just using his body and shielding and allowing Ray Rice a clear path to the left sideline. Great job by Rutgers.
See, those are bowl records overall for Rutgers, and they don't have a lot to choose from, but just the same, Ray Rice continues to add to his records. Dante Love gets it across the 30. This is Stacy.
He grew up in New Rochelle. The toughness of this guy really immeasurable, John. He grows up in New Rochelle. His father is killed when he's 6 years old in New York by a drive-by. He's raised by his mother, and sitting down with him, guys, he's just the most humble soul. And I got to add this little nugget here since I'm a basketball player. He busted a rim dunking when he was 16, guys.
That immediately makes him a good athlete.
Well, flags everywhere thrown there. That was Ray's mother you see in the crowd. Now, what I love about, not only is she wearing her son's jersey with Rutgers on the back, but on the front it says Ray's mom.
She's not shy.
A little camera time.
She wants everybody to know.
And now she's doing commercials.
She's got the big block R for Rutgers. She's their best advertisement right now in this game.
Pass interference, number 26 of the defense, 15 yards. First down.
Now, before Ray Rice, the most famous people from New Rochelle were Rob and Laura Petrie.
Absolutely.
The Dick Van Dyke Show.
But they, you know, I don't know about that marriage. They had separate beds. You know.
Hey, it was the 60s.
Okay.
It was the 60s. It's not like what our partner here, Jesse Palmer, grew up watching.
I wasn't around then, guys.
Davis has to get it going, rolls out now to his left, and a little calm toss to Darius Hill. One of the best offensive plays we've seen thus far for Ball State.
Again, changing launch points, moving out, but watch Dante Love trying to come through here underneath, sneaking through, and he just gets manhandled, ripped to the ground by Crawford. That's a 31-year-old sophomore, Brandon Crawford, just ripping him down and not allowing him to go out in the route.
31-year-old sophomore.
He's got 2 more years.
Davis again. This one is just a little long.
It's like a little chicken fighting going down the sideline there that slowed Love down.
Yeah, McCourty was there, staying with him. Second down. And again, they need 7. They haven't had any problems getting field goals. Davis steps up. Now he's got plenty of room to run down to the 10 before he steps out. You wanted to step out earlier, did you?
I just wanted them to run a little faster. I'm like, get through that window and get through there and go. Yeah. Who needs a running game? Let your quarterback do it.
Doug's getting excited up here. As soon as he had that open grass right in front of him, he was gone. You see Jamal Westerman gets a push. He's only able to get one arm on Nate Davis, and he's out the gate. It's that elusive speed getting outside, getting north. He's really been the running game today for Ball State. We talked about the fact they need to get that established. They haven't had a prayer handing the football off. It's been all Nate Davis himself.
9 carries for 40 yards for Davis. Might not be a bad game plan. Tosses it down to the 1, and just inside for a touchdown is Dante Love.
Great route by Love. Went down, broke it off, good separation. Get her done. Just find a way to get it done. Nate Davis ran for first down, throwing a football now, does whatever it takes.
This is a good throw, too.
You know, it's a great matchup. Getting Dante Love matched up outside on Billy Anderson. He's able to just run a deep square out route, man-to-man coverage. He gets a nice throw put out in front by Nate Davis. Really a tic-tac-toe touchdown. That was nice.
Davis 13 of 27 for 152 yards. McGarvey knocks it through. And just like that, Ball State with a little life. Only down 15 now. Touchdown, 2-point conversion. Hey, they're right back at it.
I'm the biggest, baddest mucus.
There's a new sheriff in town to drive your toughest mucus out. New Maximum Strength Mucinex. One pill has the most mucus-fighting medicine to get rid of chest congestion for 12 hours. New Maximum Strength Mucinex in, mucus out.
The bucket list. The list of all the things to do before we kick the bucket. We can do this.
I hate your guts.
The bucket list. Proud of you. Nobody cares what you think. Rated PG-13. Now playing in select cities everywhere January 11th.
Get the most college hoops in the nation on ESPN Full Court presented by Olivia. With the best teams and key matchups from some of college basketball's top conferences, ESPN Full Court brings home the excitement with up to 30 games per week you won't get in your area. ESPN Full Court presented by Olivia. The most college basketball anywhere. Just $75 for a limited time. Call your pay-per-view provider today. Games also available on ESPN360.com.
My daddy is a salesman. How much money he makes depends on how much he sells. Last year he worked really hard, but he didn't make a lot of money. So my mommy gave him this thing called salesgenie.com. This year he spends a lot more time with me and he is making a lot more money. Puppies! Puppies!
Get 100 free sales leads for every salesperson in your company from salesgenie.com.
Say cheese. Papa John's is celebrating 24 years of quality and giving you an order of cheese sticks free. Buy any large specialty pizza at regular price and get 14 delicious dippable cheese sticks free. So smile and say cheese. Free cheese sticks. Call or click papajohns.com today.
Taste the difference. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Back here in Toronto, John Saunders, Doug Flutie, Jesse Palmer, Stacey Dales, as we are north of the border in Canada. And it's a 31-16 game after Rutgers was threatening to run away with this one. Robinson and Underwood are back to field the kick. Robinson takes it. He's on the sidelines and quickly down there. Special teams for Ball State get down there in a hurry and cut him down.
Well, we'll go back to the touchdown pass by Nate Davis, and it really starts with Darius Hill taking an outside release, which opens a big window and man-to-man coverage for Dante Love to run into. It was a well-executed play, but in terms of the X's and O's, it starts outside with Darius Hill. No, the football was not thrown to him, but he cleared the area open for his teammate to run through. Did a real nice job in execution offensively.
And he had an opportunity to set his feet and deliver the football, too. They protected well. They made that, the whole drive wasn't easy, but they made the touchdown look easy.
Well, now's the time they may need to make it look easy on defense, which they haven't done too much of thus far in this game. Teal throws it out to his right to Corcoran.
Again, you ran power. The play that Ray Rice took off for the long touchdown run was power O. They pull the backside guard, they run power, the fullback goes. So this action is a play action pass set right up off the same look. Boom, fullback in the flat, easy 10-yard gain.
You know, what's impressive also is that last long touchdown run. That drive was a 3-play drive. It only took 1:35 seconds. 27 of Rutgers' 63 scoring drives this year have occurred in 2 minutes or less. 43% of their drives are quick strike scoring drives from this high-powered, explosive Rutgers offense.
Teal back, hands it off to Rice. Rice into the pack. And hauled down just over the line of scrimmage by Karoma.
You know, it was pretty encouraging, though. Ball State came down the field, answered the call, stuck it in the end zone, kickoff, started inside the 20, made a nice tackle on special teams. Rutgers answered the call right away. A little play action, boom, first down, offset it.
Yeah, no question. And looking back at that last drive from Ball State, you said it. It's the first drive we've seen today where Nate Davis had substantial time to throw the football. I know they really weren't able to get anything established running the football by handing it off, but then again, there's Nate Davis trying to make plays himself, doing whatever he can do to try to keep his football team in this game.
Rice only gained about a yard on that last play. Teal under pressure, throws it to Rice, and Rice gets one hand on it before dropping it. The pressure was Booker on Teal.
Wow, and it's too bad that he could not have gotten that football down and given Ray Rice an opportunity to make something with this play, because there was a lot of green ahead of him had he been able to catch that football.
He would have been hitting himself on the goalpost there about 80 yards down the field. He would have hit a crease. He was gone.
When you say there was a lot of green in front of him, you meant the football field and not money, right?
He's got some green. He's got some green out in front of him as well.
Literally, as well as metaphorically.
6 of 8 though on third down conversions for Rutgers. Teal, plenty of time. Tosses it over to his left. Hauled down by Tyquan Underwood for yet another first down.
Well, they've had this play all day long. This is about the third time now we've seen Mike Teal go to Tyquan Underwood on the corner route, matched up in man-to-man against Alex Knipp. That's a mismatch. A speedy wide receiver against a safety, and he's wide open. Does a nice job, too, adjusting to the football.
Well, the reason the safety is on him is because they're blitzing and trying to put pressure, and that's the problem. The problem is they're bringing people to try to get to the quarterback, can't get there. Now it's man-to-man coverage all over the field.
You got to sacrifice something if you want to get to the quarterback.
From the 45, and pulling out another trick play is Coach Greg Schiano. It was Robinson who took the handoff and made the toss, but the coverage was there.
Robinson saying, look, I'm getting a chance to throw the football. I'm throwing the football. There's no way he should have thrown this ball, but at least someone's in his face getting pressure.
Mason Robinson gets dumped. Mike Derula is in his grill. And there's the pressure by Ball State defensively finally. And you want Tyquan Underwood to get over there.
Underwood almost got to that ball. He never should have thrown it. But when a running back gets an opportunity to throw the ball, like Craig James will tell you, that he's throwing it.
Hand off to Rice, and again, fighting for yards. A little tougher to come by. B.J. Hill was in there to stop him.
What Doug was just talking about, trying to sacrifice guys defensively to get pressure in the backfield. On that last play, Mark Smith, the defensive coordinator from Ball State, called a weak corner blitz. It was B.J. Hill from the boundary side, flew right in the backfield, was able to make a play. It was a nice play call defensively to help stop that run.
You know, first and second down blitzes to try to create negative plays or third and long and get off the field.
Well, this has been the problem, though, for Ball State, is they haven't been able to stop him on third down. 7 for 9 in third down conversions. Teal, not this time. Going down. There are 2 Ball State players in the backfield, Haynes and Meeks. Just converged on Teal and brought him to the ground for a 12-yard loss.
Well, the pressure's coming from the outside, the stunt, it's a zone blitz, and then up the middle it's coming from all over. I thought the sack came from actually from the outside, and Rain's coming around the corner, but it was everyone coming up the middle. It was the stunt, pressure, get after him. Now, they, again, it ended up being a zone blitz. I'm sorry. Again, I was going to say it was man-to-man, but it wasn't. They pulled off on the weak side, made the quarterback hold the ball.
Feast or famine. You can get gashed running those types of defenses if the offense hits you with the right play, but a good gamble again by Mark Smith. 2 great plays called back-to-back.
Flag on the field.
False start.
False
Number
start.
26 of the kicking team, 5 yards, 4th down.
So Ito will be backed up with his heels on the 15-yard line. Hill moves up to receive the punt. This is going to give Ball State some nice field position. Coming after him.
Ball State.
They certainly.
Hey, what, just hanging around. 2 possessions.
They did. They sent somebody right after him and almost got a block. Hill grabs the ball. He's across the 50 and brought down just shy of the 45. Let's check in with Scott Reese.
All right, John, this is not the most surprising news, but big nonetheless. Tom Brady named most valuable player in the AP voting for the NFL. Of course, he led the Pats to a 16-0 season, 50 touchdown passes, a new record. Also led the league with a 117.2 passer rating. Guys?
All right, Scott, thanks a lot. Now, I'll point out before I say what I'm about to say that this man had 21 fantastic professional football years, but the last one, you're holding the clipboard for Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's something else. I mean, it was a great experience for me. We got a trick play going on right now, though. Great opportunity. That's fun. You got to do that stuff. Tom Brady is the most amazing quarterback I've ever played with. From a preparation standpoint, from a physical standpoint, competitiveness on the field, and he makes everyone in the locker room feel like they are the reason that team's successful.
Well, the thing is, we've never seen a quarterback professionally have the type of year he has, statistically throwing 50 touchdown passes while completing close to 70% of his balls, and he wins every game in the regular season. And what I think is the most competitive pro sports league, for them not to have one letdown over 16 games, to me, is absolutely remarkable.
Well, he finally had an opportunity to play with receivers that make him even better. His entire career, he's played with kind of average guys that he's brought along and made them better. Now, he has guys that, hey, even if they're covered, I can put the ball up, they'll go make a play for me, that type of thing. Tom, he's just amazing, had an amazing career or year. Congratulations, Tom.
It's the 6th sack of the day for Rutgers.
Gary Watts able to get around the outside on that pass rush, just completely beat Andre Ramsey at the left tackle spot, able to make the sack, and now force Ball State into yet another long 3rd down conversion.
3rd and 14. Davis going deep, has a man open, just overfires him. It was intended for Dante Love, and even as fast as he is, he couldn't get to that one.
You know, it's easier said than done, but you'll hear receiver coaches often tell their players, don't run with your arms out. Just run right through the football. Running with your arms extended can slow you down at the last bit. I know that's a tough one to call, and it's very, very tough to do, obviously live in a game. Almost connecting on a big play. So, I mean, it really is a game of inches, really.
Miller, the punter. Robinson comes up. Makes the fair catch. And we're headed to break. Rutgers up 31-16 here in the 3rd quarter. There's Roy Halladay.
Get your weekly dose of NFL news and analysis from Boomer and the Gang. Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Until now, guys who sweat a lot change their shirts a lot. Introducing Gillette Clinical Strength Antiperspirant. Prescription strength wetness protection for a lot more confidence.
There's something different about you.
Change your life, not your shirt.
We stopped selling the Whopper for one day to see what would happen.
We no longer carry the Whopper.
You don't have a Whopper?
Oh my God. They're absolutely foolish to do such a thing.
Yeah, that's upsetting.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
I want your manager at the window. Is this a joke? You cannot be serious.
The Burger King doesn't have the Whopper. They might as well change their name to Burger Queen.
Yeah. What happened was, people freaked.
Get me a Whopper.
Rob, you know Verizon Wireless still has lots of really great phones on sale. Got myself a Venus with a touchscreen.
The holidays aren't over yet. Because some of the season's hottest phones are up to 50% off, like the Samsung U620, perfect for Vcast mobile TV, just $49.99. Or get the Moto Q Music, just $99.99. Verizon Wireless.
If you want to quit smoking, think Mint. Commit Mint lozenges. Commit tastes great, works fast, and calms cravings even after the lozenge is gone.
They came in an instant. They destroyed everything. My people. My friends. My home. All I have left is vengeance. Unreal Tournament 3. Rated M for mature.
PlayStation 3, starting at $399.
Rutgers leading Ball State 31-16. And when you play football, you want protection. When you're a broadcaster, you want protection as well. So we brought the former heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis up to the booth with us. Now, we can talk about the heavyweight career for a moment, but my proudest moment, everybody knows you as a British fighter, but you won the gold medal for Canada in the Olympics.
Yes, I boxed for 2 Olympics for Canada, 84 and 88, where I beat Riddick Bowe from America and knocked him out, and then he was afraid to box me in professionals after that. So I didn't blame him.
What do you think about this football game? What brings you to a college football game?
This is all about family today, man, because we came up here to visit my mother for the Christmas, and my son loves football. He's definitely going to be a football player. So he's out with me, and he's having fun with my friends' kids, and it's all about family day today.
If he has your type of size, he could definitely be a tight end for sure right now, sitting in the box with him.
See, when football players get hit, they got a helmet on.
Yeah, but there's that uppercut, you know. I've got an arsenal field of punches I can throw at any given moment, and that uppercut really comes in handy in football.
Well, with the way the heavyweight division is now, any thoughts of a comeback?
Oh, no. You know, there's been talks of a comeback. No, you know, it's time for the young guys to take over, and I've accomplished all I've accomplished in heavyweight boxing. Time to excel and do other things.
If you look back on your career, what is the one fight you'll remember the most?
I would say Hasim Rahman, Tyson. There's been many fights, and you know, I look back at them, and even when I see them on TV, I remember the training and all the aspects that were involved in that particular fight.
Any little guys get in the ring with you and just run around and try to avoid you?
There's been guys that have held me for the whole fight, and some guys that are difficult to hit. So, you know, I've had them all.
I'm guessing that would be your strategy.
There's no hitting in the knees in boxing.
Well, congratulations on a tremendous career, and thanks for joining us here. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Thanks for having me. Bless. Everybody have a blessed year.
Thank you. Teal's toss is pulled in. Teal continues to move the football. It was nice to have the former champion. He's a big guy.
Made a lot of Canadians very proud.
Exactly.
That 88 gold medal fight against Riddick Bowe, that's one of the all-time proud moments in terms of Canadian boxing.
Yeah, I was Canadian that day, guys.
And when Ben Johnson and when Donovan Bailey won their 100 meters, respectively.
Well, not Ben Johnson.
That's right. Well, that one didn't
for
really
a day.
Yeah, for a day. It was a good day for us for a day.
Teal's got him down now at the 45-yard line, still marching Rutgers on a 1st and 10 right now. Rice gets it. Robinson out there this time. Then mix it up.
It's Robinson this time, but it had been Ray Rice a couple previous. They've been averaging probably close to 10 yards a carry in this drive. The big play there was a play action just before it, but again, they just get the edge.
And they've just found a way to get the right bodies up front. Right now in this offensive line, you mentioned it earlier, Doug, they feature 3 seniors. They have a lot of chemistry together. And even though they insert a 17-year-old right guard earlier this season in Anthony Davis, he's now got his legs with this offensive line. They work so well as a unit, and it shows. When you watch Ray Rice running through these lanes, no matter what point on the field he is, it just shows a very cohesive offensive line unit.
Teal fakes the handoff this time, then comes quickly right back across the middle. Brett gets it before he's hauled down just short of the 25. Teal having a very, very efficient game. And again, as Jesse talked about, this is a guy who was banged up most of the year. His hand, but from week 3 to 10, Greg Schiano was telling us, he could barely practice at all.
It's amazing statistically. A guy, he's still with the hand injury. He was only to practice once a week for many of the games this year. Still threw for over 2,800 yards coming into today's game. 17 touchdowns, 12 picks. That's outstanding for a guy that has an injury to his throwing hand like that.
His yardage is number 2 for a single season in Rutgers history. Ray Rice again bounces his way through a very tiny hole. Stacy with more on quarterback Mike Teal.
Well, guys, one of the reasons that Teal has been able to sustain the injury and play through it is just because he's a consummate leader. If you talk to Greg Schiano tells one story all the time. I've had them a couple times this year already, and he basically says every day after practice, when the coaches grab a plate of food and they head to watch film, to watch tape of practice, to watch the next opponent, Teal is right there with him. He grabs a plate with him, and he heads and he watches tape. He's, I guess, a coach in the making, guys, but he's certainly a leader in every dimension.
You know, Schiano also said to us a while back this year that it's nice when the leader just appears and Ray Rice again. It's amazing. Mike Teal you want your quarterback to be a leader, and you always push that, and you try to coach it up and tell him you didn't need that with Teal. It just happened on its own, and he took the leadership role with this team.
Well, here's Ray Rice again getting on the outside. They're able to get the edge. Zuta getting a nice hinge block on the outside. Tyquan Underwood doing his work in the secondary. Another clear path, another explosive play from Ray Rice. This guy has been on fire today.
School record 259 yards. We're in the 3rd quarter, folks.
He might break that single-season rushing record today, bro. He keeps going the way he's going.
In for the touchdown.
Who's in for the touchdown?
You want to say it?
Mr. Ray Rice.
His 4th touchdown of the game. And if, in fact, this is Ray Rice's final college football game, he's going out with a bang.
You notice,
one more year, they're chanting down there.
That's right.
They had Anthony Davis at fullback. The right guard moved back to the fullback position to lead that play up in the goal line.
That's a nice little idea, having a 350-pound fullback.
One more year, 1 more year.
4 more years. Oh, no, that's different.
Well, as Ito knocks it through, it may be different, but this guy probably could run for president in New Jersey. Let's check in again with Scott Reese.
All right, John, this update presented by Unreal Tournament 3. The Rutgers basketball team not having quite as much success as their football brethren. Against Georgetown, Jonathan Wallace beats the buzzer before the half. Hoyas by 7 at the break.
All right, Scott, thanks a lot. Rutgers. Ray Rice, #1 draft pick. Well, somebody's projecting him out there. But I'm sure all of these Rutgers fans hope that's #1 draft pick in the 2009.
That's right. I was just going to say.
Postpone that a year, will you?
Everybody here is chanting 1 more year. There's probably some NFL scouts in this building right now trying to plug their ears.
Going, no more years.
We want them right now.
He shows incredible quickness once he beats that first tackler and sees the opening to the end zone. The quickness is just turned on.
You know, we've talked about with Ray all year is that he gets stronger as the game goes. He's had games where he's had 35 carries, 37 carries, back-to-back weeks like that, and he's averaged 31 carries a game, and he gets stronger and stronger as the game goes.
You're
Today
right.
he's averaging 6.1 a carry.
You're absolutely right. On that last scoring touchdown, we showed the defense getting up. You start noticing them getting up slower. Eddie Burke, their safety, was wincing when he got up. You take the pounding of a guy like Ray Rice for 4 quarters of a football team, it'll wear you down now on defense.
Ito to Love. Gets it at the 5. Tries to dance his way up to the 20, but good coverage by Rutgers special teams. Get in there to haul him down.
Again, there's Davis in front of Rice leading into the end zone. Rice getting low, lowers his shoulder, leading up in there. I mean, that's the physical end of it, the power football, the eyes, the staying low, the powerful legs, the whole bit down by the goal line. Like you said, it's nice to have a 350-pound fullback sitting in front of you.
And it's a great feeling on offense as a coordinator when you can call run plays when the defense knows you're going to run the football.
And no negative plays. You know, the fact that you're always going for, even if it gets stuffed, there's an 8-man box, a 9-man box, you're going to get a yard or two, at least staying decent down and distance, not lose 4 or 5 yards and be in long yardage.
Davis, 13 of 29, 152 yards, and a touchdown. Toss across the middle, but it ain't going anywhere. Hill hauled in the ball, and Geralt just immediately pancaked him.
Rutgers bringing that zone pressure again, and really, Nate Davis does a nice job reading the hot route. He's got to get the ball out of his hands, but a great job by Ron Geralt just sticking up and sticking the receiver, Darius Hill, as soon as he catches the football, making him pay. There's not a lot of opportunities with these zone blitz, these zone pressures, to make a lot of extra yardage after the catch.
We got a second down and a short 4 yards. Let's check in with Stacy.
Well, guys, just to add a little bit more onto Ray Rice, I talked to him this week, and I asked Ray what he feels like he's gotten better at this season, potentially his last year. And, you know, we've seen the power hits, we've seen the stiff arms, we've talked about his physical nature, but the thing that he's improved at, guys, is his mental aspect of the game. He says he's become a more patient running back. He's learned how to read the game with his mind and then apply his strength. And, guys, in terms of the NFL, he's basically going to sit down with Greg Schiano just after the season finishes here in Toronto, and they're going to discuss all the options for he and his family and weigh everything for his future, guys.
Greg Schiano, Stacey, told us that if a guy's going to be a top 50 pick, as Love takes it, he goes up near the 50-yard line. If a guy's going to be a top 50 pick, is what Greg Schiano told us, it's hard to tell him not to go. And my guess is that Ray Rice would be in the top 50.
You'd have to think so. He's an unbelievable talent, that's for sure. I know there's a lot of people out there that feel that this is actually maybe a weak draft at that position, so you wonder where he'd fit in. But Ray Rice has really been the consummate professional on campus since the day he arrived there. Greg Schiano told us he got there as a true freshman. He was 6th on the depth chart. He jumped everybody that training camp and went on his way for 1,120 yards as a true freshman.
Davis out to Love again. Yeah, it's hard to come in number 6 on the depth chart as a freshman and move past all of those guys in front of you.
In 3 weeks of practice.
In 3 weeks of practice, and some of them upperclassmen as well. So I'm sure he wasn't real popular.
I think, yeah, really. I think the thing that factors into his decision of whether or not go out for the draft are, I go back to it, the numbers of carries and the numbers of hits that he takes in a game. And, you know, it wears on you over the long haul, and that has to factor into his decision.
Davis with some time. Throws the ball low, again looking for Love.
Well, Ray Rice gets a lot of carries There's no question about that. But he faces some pretty stiff competition in the conference as well. This year, went up against 3 top 20 defenses, the Cincinnatis, the USFs, the West Virginias, and they put a lot of that workload on his shoulder, and he averaged 139 yards a game against those top 20 defenses. But you're right, Doug, the wear and tear on your body, it can break you down. And he's asked to do a lot of things in this offense, but with those big thighs, he's built for it.
They may be bigger than Theotis.
Oh, that's saying something. Big rush up the middle by Clancy. Brought down at about the 26-yard line. So Ball State finding a way to move the ball here as we approach the end of quarter number 3.
Ball State offensively, Shiano said it. He says when you find the trigger guy, you can make the guys around you a lot better. And it allows them the opportunity to compete. And that's what Nate Davis does for this Ball State team. He allows them to compete and stay in this game. I know it's getting out of hand now with Ray Rice going wild, but they're going to keep fighting right down the wire.
It says a lot about Nate Davis, too, doesn't it? The fact that here they are down 22 points, and they're still fighting, like you said. Nate Davis playing as poised as he was at the beginning of the football game, trying to make plays down the field, keeping his guys in this game, and here they are marching. A lot of teams could quit right now.
Yeah, it's 3 scores. I know it's a reach because the only reason it's a reach to say they're 3 scores down and they have a chance is because they can't stop Rutgers. You get the feeling that Ball State could make some big plays and get back in this offensively.
Well, it's one of the most impressive things, I think, from Brady Hoke's team is the fact that he told us that this football team, they really care about each other, and I think that that's obvious when you watch them play.
Okay, we just gave him the opportunity to get back in it. Oh, Rencard comes up with a fumble.
Just when things were first starting to go their way. Ball State, that's only their 11th turnover of the season and their first turnover today.
And it's the whole reason why Nate Davis went to the gloves, was to accept the snap from under center. How ironic that all of a sudden they get a fumbled exchange here at the end of the 3rd quarter.
Change the gloves, get new ones. The new
cutters off.
No, you go. Just give me a new set of cutters because the tack wears off in a hurry on those things.
Better than those ones you used to make yourself, right?
Yeah.
With the carpenter's gloves.
When we played up here in Canada, we got the original glass cutter gloves that look like gardening gloves.
Teal now. Hands it off again. And Ray Rice continues to add to his totals before B.J. Hill drops him down. 12 yards on the carry. 3rd quarter has come to an end. There's a look at Nathan Phillips Square. There's a look at Ray Rice, and that's what they'd like him to do. But he hasn't stayed anywhere that Ball State could get their hands on him in this game. 38-16 with the final quarter to come.
ESPN, your NBA destination for games Wednesdays and Fridays all season long.
Don't let painful arthritis flare-ups change the way you see things. With new Thermacare Arthritis Heat Wraps, you'll get 12 hours of heat for relief that lasts all day. New Thermacare Arthritis Heat Wraps, available for hand, knee, neck, and shoulder.
Hi, guys. What's going on?
Buzzword bingo.
Buzzword bingo?
These innovation meetings are killing us. The hype, the jargon.
The buzzwords.
Every time you hear one, you mark your card.
In short, we are 100% committed to facilitating a culture of out-of-the-box, goal-oriented, value-added, disruptive Web 3.0.
Bingo.
Here, you need NyQuil for that cold.
Huh?
Yeah, you'll sleep like a bit. Sleep like you did before the rooster went blind.
NyQuil, cold relief for a great night's sleep.
Falling in love during a semester abroad. Priority number 7.
Excuse me. There must be something wrong with my eyes. Because I can't take them off of you.
Being able to afford a semester abroad, priority number 1.
If you were a laser, you'd be set on stunning.
Get the money you need with a Monticello student loan.
Use it for education-related expenses, and you can pay it back after you graduate. It's a great way to supplement savings, scholarships, and federal loans. Apply with a cosigner, and you could get a better rate.
Excuse me.
Monticello Student Loans, when education is priority number one. Call 888-856-0690 or log on to 81montecelloloans.com.
Well, if you're wondering, and we were, what the poll record is for most yards rushing in a game, it's P.J. Daniels, 307 yards, Georgia Tech in the 2004 Humanitarian Bowl. The second highest rushing total this year is Ray Rice right now, behind Tony Temple of Missouri, who did it in the Cotton Bowl against Arkansas.
And Ray Rice is approaching 5,000 on a career. He's at 49.18 now, and shoot, that may be within range today.
I think so. We got a full quarter to go.
Right. See, again, we start talking about him and telling you how great he is. Lose a yard. There you go. Fumble a snap.
Just let him get to 307, guys.
Just for fun. Come on. Understand the concept.
I'll tell you, I'm really impressed with Mike Teal in terms of his leader. We heard Stacy talking earlier about the type of consummate leader he is. But ever since Rutgers has found success being on the outskirts of New York City, they've really been adopted by the city as their own team.
Teal underneath center, and of course there's Rice behind him, but goodness.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's just
giving it out.
It's just punishment. McClure gets credited for the tackle, but he got blown up.
You know, going back to Mike Teal, the fact that he, really is treated like a pro quarterback where he is at the University of Rutgers because of his how close they are to New York City and the way the media scrutiny there. He has a lot more pressure on him than most other collegiate quarterbacks in that regard. I give him a lot of credit for sticking in there. It's been, I would say, a down year for Rutgers this season, going 7-5, 3-4 at the Big East, but he still shows up every day leading this team and plays well.
He's at 280 yards now, so 20 more to get to that 300 mark and 28 more to get to the all-time bowl record.
Talking about Teal, he had the banged up thumb this year, and he took a lot of criticism throughout the year. And I bumped into his family in the airport after the Louisville game, and his parents were down. They think the whole world they lost the game. They think the whole world hates him because they pick up a paper and read it one day about the criticism, whatnot. And he's fought through all that this year. Still had a real solid year, leading the team to a bowl, and he's been the leader of this team. And when he's healthy, and that thumb's right, he can throw the balls on well as anyone up the field.
As Ito gets set to punt, just to go further on your thought about the pressure of being in New York, there was a time when Rutgers would have prayed for pressure.
That's right.
Nobody even knew they were playing football there. And Greg Schiano talked about that and how it's not only heightened the program on the field, but off the field as well.
Go online and watch Capital One Bowl Week live or replay your favorite moments and catch the games you missed. ESPN360.com. Log on today.
I love beer. I drink beer daily on Taste Panel here at the brewery.
This isn't like other beer companies. Everyone in here knows how to brew. We're a company of beer geeks.
Y'all have yourself a good weekend?
Samuel Adams employees, from the head of the legal department to the newest sales rep that we hired, learns how to brew beer. You need passion. You have to actually believe in what you're doing.
That's why I'm here. I love beer.
Sam Adams tastes great because happy employees make better beer.
Well, my job.
At the corner of Hallis and Landry, there was a titanic clash of muck and man. The Mud Bowl. By game's end, the two teams shared a common uniform and one huge hunger. Introducing Campbell's Chunky Fully Loaded, the new Chunky in the black can. Fully loaded soups like rigatoni and meatballs with extreme amounts of meat to feed an NFL-size hunger. And yes, Mom, they washed their hands before they ate. New Campbell's Chunky Fully Loaded in the black can.
240 miles above the Earth when IMAX needed to power their camera. They trusted Duracell. And if you think advanced technology is only for outer space, consider this. Down here, now you can take up to 5,000 pictures over the life of 2 batteries. New Duracell rechargeables. Recharge in just 15 minutes. They're rechargeables reinvented. So whether it's some amazing shots today, or you're gazing a little further into the future, it just has to work. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
I'm Stephanie Acerno, and this is my story. I come to people's homes and I wrap their Christmas and Hanukkah presents for them. People will call me up, can you come over? And it'll be Christmas Eve. And I'm smiling and singing Christmas carols. I want to make their holiday look good. I have arthritis in my back. I sit for long periods of times hunched over. It's a real strain. No one wants to see a holiday grimace. I take a leave. Later, I'm just not in pain, and then I go, oh, that'll leave, it worked again. The real reward is that at the end of it, I'm still smiling. That's the best part for me.
This telecast is available on ESPN HD, presented by Olivia. And if you have HD, you have a stunning view right now of the CN Tower here at the 2nd Annual International Bowl. Rutgers well in command, and this is what they're playing for. The International Bowl trophy. And nice piece of crystal there.
Is there rice in that trophy?
It's a maple. Now that's Canadian maple.
There you go.
All right.
I'm getting educated here.
Very expensive, Doug. Very, very hard to come by.
Oh, okay. Because it's Canadian.
Expensive. That's right.
Hey.
We'll tax you on that. You hoser.
Ball still going back to work again. David's just across the middle to Love. Love just trying to get to the first down marker.
Didn't ask Lennox Lewis if he used the foil.
It's
a good thing he didn't use the foil. It might have really hurt some people.
I'm surprised, though, that he's not interested in coming back, because he immediately would be number one.
He'd be a contender. Absolutely. Hey, you get to a point, and I realized that towards the end of my career, you don't want to get hit anymore. Yeah. You know, you just don't. You still love the game that you play, but you just don't want to get hit anymore. If you don't want to get hit in that game, you're in trouble.
Yeah, but you were 112 years old when you retired.
So was Joe Louis, 176 years old.
After the first down, Davis again flushed out of the pocket.
Boy, just nothing is happening in rhythm, you know? It's just, if he's not scrambling and making a play, there is no play.
It's just been it's been tough sledding for Ball State offensively. If it's not pressure, guys downfield are blanketed in man-to-man coverage. Rutgers just seems to be doing everything right on that side of the football against this high attack, this aerial assault of Ball State.
Second down and 10. Davis again coming across the middle. That one very nearly picked off and ripped out of the hands. Let's check in with Scott Reese with more college basketball news.
All right, John, Pac-10 front and center, Oregon and Arizona. This is a bit of a surprise in Tucson. Marty Lunan finds Cameron Brown underneath. The Ducks led this thing by as many as 19. They're up 11 at McHale, second half.
Arizona ranked 21st in the nation. I want to get you guys' thoughts on Hawaii's performance in the BCS game. All the questions as to whether or not Hawaii was a team that belonged there despite being undefeated, and then Georgia just put an absolute hurting on them. Love trying to cut it back. Shows his speed again. Down to the 40-yard line. Nice job of following the blockers.
There was just a wall of offensive linemen out in front of Love on the wide receiver screen. Well set up, well designed.
You know, they find ways to get him the ball, you know, on the swing pass. It just put playmakers out in space and just let them create. And here's Dante Love doing what he does best. He averages almost 200 yards a game in total offense, 7th best in the nation. And here they go again the other way.
And they call his number an awful lot.
I'd argue he's carried the football as much almost as Ray Rice has on the other side.
Just about.
Well, they've handed it off to him on wide receiver reverse. They've handed it to him out of the backfield as a running back.
Yep.
They've thrown wide receiver screens. They've run swing screens out of the backfield and thrown to him down the field.
He just hasn't kicked a field goal.
And kickoff return and punt return.
He's everywhere.
What did you think of Hawaii's performance and whether or not they belong in the BCS?
I was having trouble buying into Hawaii early in the year because they struggled with some teams they should have put away. But then at the end of the year, they won me over. I was on the bandwagon. I thought they were ready to go into a BCS bowl and compete. And it was disappointing.
And off underneath to Clancy. Oh, the ball's off the field. No, they're going to say he's down. Clancy was down, so no fumble.
You know, going back to Hawaii, I would argue, like Doug said, those last two games they played against Boise State and Washington, there may not have been a hotter quarterback in college football than Colt Brennan in those games. 10 touchdown passes. All season long, Ryan Grice, Mullen, Devon Best, Jason Rivers, these guys are running wide open against that competition, but when they faced a bigger, stronger, and much faster defense than they've seen in that Georgia defense in the Sugar Bowl, I just think it showed.
But I honestly thought those receivers, Best, Rivers, I mean, they made some acrobatic catches throughout the year. They were talented, fast, caught the ball well, and of course Brennan throwing the ball. And they got to a point where you said, hey, they can, just like kind of going into this game with Ball State, you thought, you know, with him throwing a football,
Play of game, offense, 5 yards, remains first down.
they're going to put some points on the board. I didn't think they would stop Georgia offensively. I thought their defense wouldn't be able to handle Georgia, but offensively, I thought they would put some points on the board.
It's just a school like Missouri is looking on the outside of the BCS saying, hey.
I think that's something we learned.
That was frustrating.
I think that's something we learned, no question. After watching a blowout Rose Bowl game and a blowout Sugar Bowl game, and then watching the way Missouri handled Arkansas in that Cotton Bowl, they really, on the outside looking in, they should have been playing for a BCS game.
No question about it. Pass right down the middle to Love.
Everybody's open. He sticks it in tight
Hill,
windows.
Rather. That was Hill. Darius Hill.
You know, Hill just has inside position. He puts the ball inside of Hill. Free safety's just waiting to make the hit, and Hill hangs on. But boy, that's a laser, huh?
Just fitting that post right between both safeties. You're right. Small window. You need perfect timing. And Darius Hill doing a nice job using his body and his big frame to secure that ball.
The big hit by Geralt. And he's down.
Getting back to Missouri, I mean, Missouri and Kansas, how do you beat a team in what is the showdown at the end of the year to go to the conference championship game? And I don't want to take anything away from Kansas. They're a great football team. But how do you beat the team to go to the championship game of your conference and then get penalized by losing the championship game and not getting into a BCS game?
Well, and they beat Illinois the first game of the season, who went to the Rose Bowl. Right. So you've beaten two teams that go play in BCS games, and you're not invited. And you win your division over one of the teams that's playing.
And Lloyd Carr, of course, goes out with a victory, and Rich Rodriguez was probably the happiest.
Yeah, we were sitting there saying, Rich is smiling seeing this exhibition.
And I get this talent next year. Of course, his former quarterback, Pat White, had a big day, but West Virginia did not. Ron Geralt, another one of those New Yorkers. He missed the start of the season because of ankle problems, but he has been the anchor since coming back.
Yeah, he's a leader in that secondary, though. He's a guy that lines people up, makes the calls in the back end, and been a big part of this football team.
The quarterback of the defense, and that's one of the things Greg Schiano told us in terms of this season, not winning as many games as expected, but a lot of those things out of control. You lose your quarterback on offense with a thumb injury who's got to play through pain, and your quarterback on defense goes down as well. That makes for a tough season.
Another one of those seniors that have built this program.
Davis. Fade route. Oh, almost was pulled in by Hill, but quickly stripped out by McCourty.
McCourty made a nice little play there. I mean, you're talking a 6'6" receiver going up for the ball. Actually, he didn't get it at its highest point. He didn't really get up off his feet and reach up for this.
We saw Nate Davis yesterday on the field throwing these balls after practice, just trying to get some of the timing and rhythm down, and he gives his big receiver a chance to bring that football in, but Jason McCourty does a nice job just breaking it up. You're right. Had he went and got it at its highest point, he might have been able to secure that touchdown grab.
2nd and goal. Rolls out to his right. Oh, there's room to run. Oh, he had all kinds of room to run, and he throws it into triple coverage.
The game is so easy from up here, Jesse, isn't it?
It sure is. I'll tell you what.
Just run the ball in the end zone, but you know, he thinks he can stick it in there, and everybody's open. But we want to talk about open. Take a look at the green grass. Get moving, make a move on the guy at the goal line and dive in.
I'd say that was probably the only time today he should have run and didn't. We've been giving him so much credit for keeping his eyes downfield and trying to make plays. And you're right, Doug, it's easy up here. Now I know why the coaches are always yelling
absolutely.
at me.
Yeah, the coaches, you stay up there.
Couldn't you guys see it?
How did you not see that guy?
3rd and goal. Davis moves around in the pocket. Now sees an opening and just lofts it to the back of the end zone. And touchdown is called to Darius Hill.
At first you don't succeed. Try again.
That's 3. He threw the fade to him a little earlier, got that knocked down, threw it into the crowd in the back of the end zone to him, got that knocked down. 3rd time's a charm.
It's just great improvisation by Nate Davis, never quitting, keeping the play alive, lengthening the play. You see Darius Hill all the way from the right side of the field, but wants the ball, he wants the ball, he wants the ball. Just working that baseline in the back of the end zone for the touchdown.
Took him a moment to secure that ball. He didn't catch it cleanly.
The Rutgers fans all of a sudden wanting a challenge.
When they saw the replay.
Oh, make it a game. It counts. Leave it.
Better snap the ball.
Knocks it through and good. Davis, 21 of 42 for 260 yards and 2 touchdowns as he starts putting up some numbers. But they've got to find a way to slow that guy down to have any shot, but they're back in it.
Disciplined investing. It isn't about star fund managers. At T. Rowe Price, it's about experienced investment teams that stay the course. For each 3, 5, and 10-year period, over 70% of our mutual funds beat their Lipper average. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
I was stunned when I saw the scale and it said 313 pounds. And that's when I got on Nutrisystem.
It's time for you to lose weight too. Order the all-new Nutrisystem Advanced.
I'm Mike Golick and I lost 51 pounds on Nutrisystem. And you can too.
This new heart-healthy program is formulated to help fight your hunger and curb craving.
If a big old defensive lineman like me can lose weight, so can you.
Call or go online now to order your first 4 weeks of awesome food. And through this special offer, you can get an extra 2 weeks of meals absolutely free.
Eat like a man and lose weight.
About $11 a day gets you 4 full weeks of perfectly portioned meals.
Pick up the phone and lose some weight.
Order our 4-week men's program now and you can get an extra 14 breakfasts, lunches, snacks, dinners, and desserts. A full 2 weeks of Nutrisystem Advanced meals free. Call now to find out how.
ESPN College Football, the International Bowl, is brought to you by T. Rowe Price, providing investment management excellence for over 70 years. Invest with confidence.
Well, in the middle of the winter, you grab your skates, you head downtown to Nathan Phillips Square, which is right in front of City Hall of Toronto, and
that's me pushing the chair to keep my balance.
You don't see anybody there who can't skate. You're not allowed to actually get your official citizenship until you pass a skating contest in Canada. If that were true, Jesse, though, you might not be a citizen.
That's right. I was going to say, I didn't want to say anything. I'm sitting over here kind of quiet because I thought I might have to give back my passport.
That's why
I'll be in limbo.
Stacy and I played street hockey.
Oh, Leafs are playing tonight. There's an old Leafs Darryl Sittler jersey, it looks like. Jake Hogue. An attempt at an onside kick.
Recover the ball.
Doug Flutie's diving on the ground here in the box trying to recover the ball.
Well, he's also doing it because he said, while we were on break, Doug says, hey, you may as well go for an onside kick. You got as much chance of getting that as stopping Rutgers.
So they kick it. First of all, it's a slow rolling kick that he missed, right?
Right.
And it took forever to get 10 yards. They got 3 guys around it, and none of them get in a position to recover it.
And now you're just quickening the inevitable by giving Rutgers the ball at the 40.
The other side of my argument about letting them or going for the onside kick is
number 81 of the kicking team. Rutgers retains possession of the ball. We will penalize Ball State 5 yards from the end of the kick.
Make matters worse, they had a guy offside.
Well, that makes me feel a little better because if they did recover, it wouldn't count. But watch the kick. The kick is slower than it should be. He misses it a little bit. He wanted to get there a little quicker. So now it takes forever, and they have to wait for the ball to go 10. Now they're looking at it, waiting for it. Come on. All you got to do is get to the line, but no one's in position to recover it. And the other side of the argument of doing the onside kick was that, okay, now Rutgers can score quicker. We got more time to score 3 touchdowns again.
Exactly.
So Ray Rice will get a chance here to add on to his record performance today. Already more yards than anybody in Rutgers history. But Teal's going to go to the Air. Right off the top. Oh, what a picture. Perfect pass, and Tyquan Underwood hauls it in. 35-yard touchdown pass from Mike Teal.
Stick in the dagger and twist it.
Sudden change situations, and the best coaches know how to go right after your heart. On the turnaround of possession, the first play from scrimmage, everybody in the stadium thought we'd be seeing Ray Rice carry that football.
Was not really that wide open. A great throw by Teal. Underwood goes up, catches the ball at its highest point, makes a nice play on the ball, body position, and everything else.
And so Ito will have a chance to add to his school record points total.
But see, now you got more time to come back. You let them score in one play.
College football bowl season continues on ESPN Sunday night with the GMAC Bowl as Tyler Sheehan and the Bowling Green Falcons take on Paul Smith and the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. The GMAC Bowl on ESPN Sunday at 8 Eastern. And Tulsa entered the bowl season with the nation's top-ranked offense at 542 yards per game.
I'm telling you, Paul Smith distributes the football. He's not the most athletic, the strongest arm and all that, but he moves around. He makes plays with his feet. He delivers the ball, gets it. We did a game last year, you and I, John, down. It was impressive to watch him move the football.
The attendance here today is close to 32,000 in a house that will hold about 56. But again, the teams have traveled well. I think the only thing to make this bowl a complete success is to start to get some of the local people with more interest in it. And to do that, you have to build it up over the course of a season. You can't just all of a sudden 3 weeks before the game say, hey, we've got Ball State and Rutgers coming to town. You've got to build it up. Big East, Mid-American Conference, talk about all the teams in each of those conferences who might potentially be coming to Toronto. Dante Love cuts back, sees a spot in the middle, cuts back again, and then dives up to the 30-yard line.
To touch on what you were saying, John, here at the Rogers Center, it's a great venue to watch sports. And I remember as a kid growing up in Ottawa watching the Toronto Blue Jays win 2 World Series here, watching some of Doug Flutie's teams win Grey Cups here, back some of those great Argos teams. And, you know, Toronto is such a football city. And it's great, as a fan of college football, it's great that they now get the opportunity to see this competition here at the Rogers Center in Toronto. I think it's just so great that this game is being played, and I think it's only going to get bigger in years to come.
Those World Series banners you talked about. Joe Carter hitting that walk-off home run for the second one off of Mitch Williams. Saw some great home runs here. Jose Canseco hit one that was about 3 levels up to to the left side of the restaurant and into the upper tier.
Dave Sapungis and I, we were staying in Skydome Hotel because we had a game the next day against Toronto here when we were playing for Calgary. We snuck into a couple of those World Series games out the back door.
Pretty nice.
Wait a second. Doug Flutie has to sneak into games?
He's winning all those CFL Most Outstanding Player
awards.
We were
standing in left field during batting practice.
Little handoff underneath to Clancy. And Clancy finds an opening and busts it up for a first down.
Hey, they found the running game.
Well, just now, the last couple series, Clancy's had some success. They've been gashing Rutgers a little bit. You wonder if it's too little too late. Down 22 here in the fourth quarter. It's around 9 minutes to go. This is something I'm sure they would have wished they could have found earlier on in this football game.
I think Rutgers is kind of in the mode of not giving up the big play, play a little more conservatively, but that'll get you beat. I mean, not now because they keep scoring themselves, but they'll turn it up. They'll find the situation to go ahead and blitz them again, bring them off the edge here.
Davis finds his man across the middle. Darius Hill with the catch. Gain of about 5.
Well, we talked about that earlier, Doug, was, you know, you want to rush the passer as a defensive coordinator, but you can get gashed if you're not careful. And Rutgers still is sending guys in zone pressures, and Clancy has been able to find some seams these last few possessions to gash this team. You're right. You know, with under 9 minutes left, I don't know if there's enough to come back on, but that's kind of the feast or famine concept of these pressure defenses. You can blitz a guy, but you're susceptible to big plays at the same time.
Somebody might have moved early there. There's a flag on the right side of the field. As Davis runs towards the first down marker. Foster jumped offside. So it was a free play.
He's not the most elusive runner in the world. But again, he's making good decisions. He's scrambling to buy time and look up the field.
Well, he wanted Darius Hill to give him a block there.
Offside, number 56 of the defense. Penalty has declined. The result of the play is a first down.
You need your receivers to help you out a little bit, too, once you get outside of that pocket and start running. He gives them the point.
Well, you know, coaches were saying Darius Hill's a great weapon. He's a tight end that can play as a receiver. It looks like 4 wide outs. It looks like what we call 11 personnel, 1 tight end. He's not the best blocker in the world. He's gotten better as the years gone, but not the most physical tight end in the world.
So Ball State at midfield. A couple of runs. They're going to continue to try and run the ball again. Clancy punches his way for just about a yard.
They don't want Ray to get the record. They're going to eat up some clock here and drive the ball.
Let me ask you guys this question. Should we count stats in bowl games?
Well, I would say, you know, and again, I'm the outsider here, but I would say no, and the reason is because they didn't used to. So you're comparing apples and oranges right now when it comes to records.
Yeah, the oranges just stay with the oranges and the apples stay over here with the apples. I mean, we only had an 11-game schedule anyway, but now they've got all the overtime games because we never had overtime back then either. And you get the extra touchdown passes and extra touchdown rushing and all that as well. And those should count because that's regular season. But now it's a 12-game regular season schedule plus potential for, well, if you want to go bowl games, should they count? Should the championship games count?
No question. Well, everyone makes a big deal about, you know, Kevin Smith, and rightfully so. He had an unbelievable season this year. Heading into that Liberty Bowl against Mississippi State, could have passed Barry Sanders for the all-time single-season record. Barry Sanders was 3 games short of Kevin Smith's totals. Had he had 3 more games, he would have easily rushed for 3,000 yards.
No question. So that's it. NCAA change the rules.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, no. Had to change that a couple of times. Good open field tackle, almost a good open field tackle. Then it turns out to be a good one. Hill was brought down.
Boy, he is all legs and arms, though, isn't he? Spinning and rolling.
Oh. He's like a spider out there. He's so lengthy. He's got so much range. It just seems to me all game long for Ball State offensively, they have not been able to get what they want downfield. Rutgers has just been content giving them everything underneath, but not giving up the big play.
4th and 6. They're 7 of 13 on 4th down attempts this year, Ball State. And they need this to stay alive, and that pass is knocked away as Davis just got absolutely leveled as he released it. Foster was the guy who was there to put the hit. So Ball State turns it over on downs. We'll see if Rice can come back and add to his totals. He's got a couple more records in his sight.
Get the most college hoops in the nation on ESPN Full Court presented by Olivia. With the best teams and key matchups from some of college basketball's top conferences, ESPN Full Court brings home the excitement with up to 30 games per week you won't get in your area. ESPN Full Court presented by Olivia. The most college basketball anywhere. Just $75 for a limited time. Call your pay-per-view provider today. Games also available on ESPN360.com.
Steak, bacon, and egg breakfast burrito.
How about it, right?
That's hearty, man.
I gotta wonder though, are you getting like steak and eggs with bacon on the side, or are you getting bacon and eggs with steak on the side?
Oh, you're definitely getting steak and eggs with bacon on the side. Steak trumps bacon every time.
Every time?
It's steak, yeah.
Yeah, but bacon is bacon. Thank you so much.
Here's my point, steak.
Steak, bacon, and egg burrito. New at Sonic. Marinated steak, bacon, smoky cheddar, and eggs wrapped to go. And don't forget, Sonic offers a full menu all day starting at 6 a.m.
Rob, you know Verizon Wireless still has lots of really great phones on sale. Got myself a Venus with a touchscreen.
The holidays aren't over yet. Because some of the season's hottest phones are up to 50% off, like the Samsung U620, perfect for Vcast mobile TV, just $49.99. Or get the Moto Q Music, just $99.99. Verizon Wireless.
MX versus ATV, Untamed, rated everyone.
If you want to quit smoking, think mint. Commit mint lozenges. Commit tastes great, works fast, and calms cravings even after the lozenge is gone.
Argos. That's the call. That's the cheer for the Toronto Argonauts of the Canadian Football League. And you can look at some of the great all-time Argos. Oh, Dick Shadow.
Dick Shadow.
One of my favorites when I was growing up.
Pinball was up there, too.
Rice trying to bust it outside, get a few more yards. May have got it just across the line of scrimmage.
It's kind of interesting what we were talking about at the break. We're wondering, is Ray Rice going to stay in this football game? Here they are. They're up 22 points right now. Does he stay in the game? Does he try to get the record? I think the general consensus was, if he's coming back next year, he's staying in the game to get the record. If we see him for one carry and he's out of the game, the guy's gone.
That coach, that talk he was going to have with Coach Schiano may have just happened.
It may have just happened
on the sideline.
That's right.
Here comes the power.
Just get that power, bounce it outside. Here it comes.
Play action.
Toss. Morales takes it, gets it across midfield.
But those yards don't count. See, that's the same setup. You put the fullback in a strong position towards the tight end. You motion a receiver to potentially block the force player out of the secondary, and you run that power off tackle. And off that same look, you go play action and hit the fullback in the flat.
Everybody on defense expecting hard run right there. Lineman pulling. Mike Teal does a nice job with his eyes and the play fake, finding his wide open fullback in the flat. Morales. Nice job execution by Mike Teal.
But boring. Give the ball to Rice.
That's right. We want a record.
Again, Teal's going to pass, and again, he's going to go deep. And Teal again hooks up with Kenny Britt, and that was a picture-perfect 47.
Greg Schiano might be telling Ray Rice to come back next year. He's not going to let him get the record.
Dropped that one in the bucket. 55, 60 yards in the air. Dropped it right over the top. Beautiful throw by Teal.
Just laid it out there and let Britt go get it.
Well, Kenny Britt has had 7 touchdowns this season of over 25 yards, and this is the reason why. Just because he's 6'4" doesn't mean he's necessarily slow. Runs right by Trey Lewis, and a beautiful throw, like you said, down the chimney.
Did you see the last few strides where he pulled away from the DB to accelerate and go after the football? Ran it down.
Teal now with 16 of 25 for 303 yards.
Not a bad day, eh? Way to go, Mike.
Is that day spelled D-A-Y or D-E-H?
You got it.
What a day for Mike Teal. 20th touchdown pass, school record for a guy who fought through the season with an injury to his throwing hand, had to fight through a lot of criticism. He's come out here healthy and had just a monster day.
From last year to this year, last year I thought the passing game was a liability for Rutgers. They really didn't throw the ball well, and they relied on Ray Rice. This year, he came out the first 3 games when he was healthy, just letting it fly, throwing the ball up the field, making plays, complementing that running game, and now he's back to that form. He's got the healthy hand again.
Well, it's controversial when you think about his injury and what could have been for this team had he stayed healthy the entire course of the year.
Well, don't forget to join Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, and Kirk Herbstreit for College Game Day one more time as they review this crazy 2007 season and all the bowl games. College Game Day built by the Home Depot on ESPN Monday night at 7. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Chris Fowler, by the way, gets a Purple Heart for working at the Rose Bowl. The guy could barely stand up. He was feeling so badly and had to be there early in the morning, and then a 2-hour show after the game as well. So Chris Fowler gets my vote. Dante Love rushes through, and ball goes on the ground. Dante Love had his hand in the ball, I think, more than anybody but the quarterback.
He's all package yards for today. It's been amazing. First of all, a lot of that is attributed to the fact that Rutgers scored a lot of points keeps kicking off to it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Rutgers 592 total yards, 289 on the ground, 303 through the air.
They can't be more balanced than that. 293, 303. Get that even. Got to get that rushing stat over 300.
Who's calling the plays over there?
I don't know. It's a quarterback. He wants to throw the ball too much.
He's audible now. Those are run plays in the huddle. He's changing them.
See who they're giving the ball to.
The ruling on the field. Ball State recovered the ball. First down.
Boy, Rutgers fans are.
They want more.
Tough.
They want more. They're hungry. They want more Rice.
I wonder if they know what's at stake right now. I wonder if they know what Ray Rice needs.
They know that he's closing in on 300, I bet. So whether or not they know about the records, they certainly know that the 300 mark is well within his reach. Of course, his defense has got to come up with a stop here for him.
I don't know sometimes how referees can figure out who's got the ball.
They don't.
They just make it up. And again, underneath to Clancy. That play has been there in the second half. It was nowhere in the first half.
And Clancy's a guy that's been in the backfield all year long for pass protection purposes, an occasional carry. He's an assignment guy, knows his stuff. You know, you're not a lot of flash and flare there.
You're not. He came into a game late this season against Toledo, ran for over 100 yards in the second half of that game when Frank Edmonds went down early. He's a guy who's been having to spell Edmonds a lot this season, but he's done a nice job, particularly here late in the game.
Well, and Clancy was a defensive player last year. He made the switch over. He gets the handoff again.
It's almost the opposite because B.J. Hill was a running back for 2 years, and now he's playing corner as a starter.
Well, they needed to open a new can of running backs. They had so many injuries.
Rice may be done for the day. Depends on this drive, probably. If it gets down inside of 2 minutes, Don't think they'll put Ray Rice back in the game. Ball State can move the chains. Davis quickly across the middle, and the ball is dropped. Darius Hill had it hit his mitts, but couldn't hang on to it.
Tried to stick that into another little tight window there, but he's not afraid to make any throw. How's this? Total yards. I mean, 400. You got 400 yards. You put 23 points on the board. You think you're in the game.
You're getting pasted.
Almost 600 yards total for Rutgers. Outstanding.
And it's dead even balance. 300-300 basically.
How about that? I don't think I've ever heard of that. It's either one or the other.
They got to finish off those last 7 yards rushing to get over 300.
Again, Clancy takes it. Again, Clancy has an opening. The big guy showing some speed down to the 25-yard line.
Give a little education here on this zone blitz for you there, Jess.
That's right.
It was a Sam Strong safety coming off the strong side, bringing it from over there, and that way the defensive end has to rotate down. It becomes a 2C, which is two deep coverage with the corner playing deep half and the defensive end covering the flat.
Once
Okay, you
again,
got that?
Once again, I was taking notes
Okay.
right there. Again,
Okay.
you can get gas.
Blitz zone, strong safety Sam, 2C.
I'm sorry, what did you say? I wasn't listening.
Sounds like a John Madden football play from the
Oh, nice catch. Great throw and catch as Dante Love hauls it in over his shoulder. You get it down to about the 1 yard line.
Yeah, you know, give Nate Davis, Dante Love, and the rest of the leaders on this Ball State offense credit for fighting to the very last play. Just fitting a seam ball in. That is the only place Dante Love can catch that football. Right before getting collided with. Great throw and a great catch.
Great release coming off the line of scrimmage. Quick sidestep, slipped under. Before he caught that, he had over, well, there you go, all-purpose yards. He's over 300 now.
Clancy was in the backfield, but wide open is Darius Hill. It's like Rutgers took the play off.
Playoff?
Playoff?
All I know is we get another onside kick.
Playoffs?
So you score 30 points and you're not in the ball game.
I'll tell you what, and Nate Davis now, in the last 3 games, has thrown 8 touchdowns and no interceptions. He's done such a nice job taking care of the football. He's headsy. Coach Stan Parrish says, throws a lot of touchdowns, but he doesn't throw balls to the other team. And takes very good care of the football.
It's amazing because he's such a gunslinger. He's firing it down the field, sticking it in tight windows.
Well, there's the 30th point. 52 to 30 is the lead. Don't forget, more great NBA action coming up this week on ESPN.
They fell a series short of the finals last year, but to many, the Pistons are still the beasts of the East. The Mavericks may have been sent home by the Warriors last season, but now they are back and better than ever. Rasheed in Detroit, Dirk in Dallas, heavyweights getting it on in prime time. Wednesday night, 9 Eastern. It's the NBA on ESPN.
Thanks a lot, Stuart Scott, and we, all of us here, send our best regards to Stuart Scott. As we know, he is battling about with cancer. Saw him a week or so ago. He looks strong, he looks tough, he's determined, he knows he's going to get it. And Stu, we're all rooting for you, buddy. Well, you're going to see another onside kick. You got
now they know it's coming, though, John. Now you got to make a good kick.
That's just
what they'll be expecting us to do.
Mrs. Rice has made it to the sidelines. She wants to have that conversation with Coach Ciano right now, too.
Let's go, Coach. Coach, my son needs money, Coach. I need the money. Coach, let's talk.
Got the hands team on the field now for Rutgers. Kenny Britt, Tyquan Underwood.
McCourty pulls it in. Devin McCourty, that is.
Did a nice job of fielding that. Got it on his fingertips. I thought that ball was going to be loose for a second.
Ray Rice is coming in.
Here comes Ray.
It might go deep.
Maybe his mother has the stats.
And
She
told
went down to the
coach,
field. The coach,
look, coach, that's
what is that? It's 3 rings.
Now I will have another.
3 big rings.
Ray Rice is out.
It's putting them in to pull them out. Yeah, 12 men in the huddle.
Yep, and there's the flag for that. Most rushing yards in a game.
That's a foul on the offense. 5 yards. It remains first down.
3:07, and Rice will finish the day with 280 yards. And again, the only question is it just finishing the day or finishing his career at Rutgers?
Well, there'll be a lot of discussion about that, but for now, what an outstanding game for Ray Rice to finish off this season for his football club.
There's his bull rings that are hanging around his mother's neck. Add yet another one. Robinson in the backfield now will run out the final couple of minutes. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Well, Ray Rice doesn't have to come back to be #1 in a lot of categories. But if he does, he's going to walk off as the best ever if he is not already. And as if he hasn't done enough.
He doesn't get tired. I'm telling you, John, the guy does not get tired.
And he's doing it by himself. Where's the help? Usually there's
now, a lot of times guys are sloppy with this and they hit the coach with the bucket. That was a very clean
clean pour, a Canadian pour.
There you go.
Robinson again. Busted this one for just 3 yards.
Nice guy. So many times you see the guys getting sloppy. They can't handle the bucket. It's too heavy. Now, Ray Rice has his up over his head and dump.
You like how the assistant coaches all get out of the way also. They know it's coming. They're not going to sell the player out, alarm the head coach, but just let it happen. Well done.
And Rice trying to pump up the Rutgers crowd. There's a lot of red in this building. This will be the final play.
No, you get watered down too.
That's great. He gets his mom with the Gatorade bath. He's in trouble when he gets home, folks.
There's plenty for everybody.
Well, all the best to Ray, and I hope he makes the right decision for him and what's best for himself and his family. I'd love, for selfish reasons, I'd love to see him back playing for Rutgers again next year.
And he is the Capital One player of the game. Almost 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. 3rd most yards in NCAA Bowl history. And Rutgers completes an 8-5 season, which by the standards of 11-2 they may have thought was a disappointment. But Greg Schiano came in here and said his team would be focused. They would not come in here as a team that was disappointed and not perform.
We've done a great job with the senior class, getting them where they are. Because of the talent on this team, they redshirted 15 freshmen this year. They're still going to be strong next year and moving forward. He's got a great program going.
Let's check in with Stacey Dales, who's with Ray Rice.
Well, he's the star of our game. 4 touchdowns, Ray, a 91-yard touchdown run. And your mother over here, a very proud mother. Ray, what was your mindset coming into this game?
I really just want to do it for the seniors. I got emotional before the game just thinking about what these seniors have done for me, my offensive line, and how the coaching staff has just put me in great situations, and then now I have a chance to decide on my future.
Your mother, Janet, beside you. Mom, can I get a comment on your son, please?
I'm just so happy for his season and just what has happened just now. No other words can explain how I feel.
Understandable. Ray, you talked about the future of the NFL. What's the probability of you leaving and staying?
I'm going to sit down the next few days with my coach and decide on what's best for me and my family. And I made it happen pretty quick, so, so everybody be aware, that's where my status remains.
All right, congratulations to you and your team on the bowl game.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Stacy, thanks a lot. Rutgers comes to Toronto and wins the second International Bowl. The final score 52-30 over Ball State. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Doug Flutie, Jesse Palmer, Stacey Dales, and the rest of our ESPN HD crew, I'm John Saunders. So long from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Now let's go back to the studio and Scott Reese.
All right.